Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
This is Open All Mics right here on BBC Radio Scotland as we approach kick-off round the country. A massive crowd, it looks like, in that Tynecastle as well as at Pittodrie. I imagine Celtic Park is pretty well full as well. So much to play for around the grounds, and you won't miss a kick of the ball here on Sports Sound and Open All Mics. Live commentary of Hearts against Motherwell is also available, as is Celtic against St Mirren. But here we'll keep you up to date with all the goals that go in, not only from the top flight, from the Championship and Leagues 1 and 2 as well. Just in League 1, the top two are in action a bit later on. 5:30 kick-off for Stennismuir against Inverness Cally Thistle. That is also a really tasty looking one. Stenny leading by a couple of points right now, but Cally Thistle with a game in hand, and they meet today at Ochilview. That's live on BBC Alapart from 5:30, and we'll keep you up to date with that later on Sports Sound. But plenty to unravel around the country before then as they prepare to kick off. It looks like St Mirren are going to get things underway at Celtic Park as they look to continue their revival under Craig McLeish, which Stephen Craigan has been pretty impressive, you'd have to say, so far.
Well, it just shows you sometimes a change of a manager, their change of mindset, different approach, a different style of play. Everybody's got a different way of what they want to do in a game of football, Al. So the St Mirren players have absolutely responded to Craig McLeish's actions, the decisions he's made within the team. He's brought the likes of Younger back into the side. Alan Campbell's playing a little bit more. Mark O'Hara's moved to a right wing back role. Liam Donnelly centre half. So they look comfortable. This is going to be a real test of the resolve today, though. Can they still be as brave? Will they take as many risks? If they can stay in the game as long as possible, try and create a little bit of negativity around Celtic Park, you just never know.
One more game that we've not really focused on, but it's still a huge one down towards the foot of the table. Derek brought us the news from Rugby Park earlier on. Kilmarnock against Dundee, but there's so much at stake in that one as well, Derek.
Absolutely, we're just kicked off. Al, I'm a little bit disappointed with the crowd this afternoon. It was bring a friend for free. I think the friend has chose not to come along this afternoon for some reason, but listen, this is going to be a hell of a game. Pardon?
Who have you brought along?
Oh, I've got many friends down here in Kilmarnock, so I have. No, do you know something? I says it earlier. I'm no kidding. I'm a wee bit nervous for likes of, obviously, you look at Neely and Billy down there, and Stephen Presley's been brilliant for me. I love listening to his interviews, the way he's got his side playing, real attacking style. But something's got to give this afternoon. Kelly obviously is 5 points behind him, so going to try and chase him down. So
chance! Oh! It's hit the arm of Freckleton. It's in the Celtic box, but I think it was a supporting arm. The flag's gone up for offside now. I'm not convinced he was offside, but a bit of a hairy moment there for St Mirren at the back. He runs off the back of Gogic, Shavan-Chara. Strong start for Celtic, still 0-0.
You had an early goal last week, Rory. That was almost a carbon copy. I'm not sure he is offside either, you're right, but I think you're also called the handball correctly as well. Did look like the supporting arm of Freckleton as he went down, but well, I'm not even sure it comes off his arm, is it?
It's his backside it comes off.
So still 0-0 in that one. How have Hearts started at Tynecastle, Alan Preston?
That's very early, Al. Just over a minute. We've got the better of the ball so far, and just won a free kick. Kingsley's gone down on that left-hand side, so they'll load the box now, and you know how good Hearts have been at set plays, the best in the league so far. So they'll be hoping to try and get an early advantage here.
Not recently though, Al. I can't remember the last time they scored for a free kick or a corner.
Dundee
at home, McIntyre, aye. Was that straight? It was straight, it was, aye. There's not been many. There's that one, which is very true.
I think they're at 20, Michael.
No, sorry, I'm meaning recently. You know,
all right, okay.
It obviously was huge to begin with, but latterly it's sort of tapered off slightly.
Is that a case of teams getting wise?
Exactly. I mean, last week Livingston left 2 up the park at corners.
Yeah.
So they put 2 up, which really then Hearts are like, well, what do we do? There was a time I was thinking Hearts are going to get caught here.
Yeah. No, the point I'm just trying to make in that is that it would be a very welcome. I think the manager spoke about it as well. it'd be a very welcome boost if they were just starting to able to pick up one or two more from set pieces, just to try to add to the goal tally. So rather than just being a 1-0 win, all of a sudden it's a 2 or a 3 that could make a huge psychological difference.
Yeah, I think you also look at the Motherwell side. It's not the most physical.
Yeah.
It's not the most. They don't have a lot of presence. Stephen O'Donnell's probably one of the biggest headers when he's available, and Stephen Wells, Paul McGinn, not the most aggressive. So if Hearts can get good delivery in the final third, whether it's from open play, whether from set plays, it absolutely can cause loads of problems.
Ian McCall at Firhill, I was thinking that game, that could well be a
Last chance saloon for Thistle, is that what you're meaning?
Well, there is that, but also I just feel like if they are going to be in the playoffs, those two could well be fighting out for the place in the final of the playoff, and it's important for both of them really to make a marker today.
Well, just as you were talking there, Alex Samuel nearly gave Thistle the lead. He missed a header from about 5-6 yards out, just past the post. But yeah, but obviously Neil Lennon, I never got to the team before. I think there's 5 or 6 that may start in the semi-final, not starting. Gilmer, Andrew Todd, Saloka Mullen, Abdullah and Kane. So he's obviously got one eye in that. But I tell you what, the makeup of the Dunfermline team, such as the youth in the playoffs, they'll be a team that would be feared for me. And I don't think Neil Lennon thinks playing the first leg away or home or whatever that really makes a difference. So I think he's concentrating the semi-final. For Thistle, they need the 3 points. There we go. Goal. Oh, the flag's up again. It's Oxley Chamberlain taps it in. It's Callum McGregor. He strikes it from the edge of the box. He likes one of those against St Mirren. Shamal George saves and Oxley Chamberlain taps it in. You'll be able to tell me, Mikey, if it's Stephen, if it's offside.
I'm waiting for the replay, but the one thing I would say is that Oxley Chamberlain is not really complaining. Yeah, he is off. Yeah.
It's not a tap either.
He's leathered it into the back of the net.
On the volley, is it?
Started really, really well. Celtic really strongly. They've moved the ball about so well. St Mirren struggling to get to grips with him, but it is ruled out. Still 0-0.
You see the thing I'm looking at Motherwell, and I don't know if it's specific to this game or whether it was last week as well, but O'Donnell's at left back, Sparrow's at right back.
Stephen played right back last week.
Yes,
I'm just looking at Longillow's playing wide.
Longillow's up left. You've got Maswinisi at the moment. It looks like he's playing off the right hand side and sides through the middle. So as much as it's the same team, it looks like there's a slight twist of the personnel in the positions that they're in.
They're already seeing, Michael, that Longellow's making runs for the left back area. And Kizaridis has dropped off him a couple of times. He's going to have to pass him on to McEntee.
He's playing up high. I mean, because he's playing like a left winger. Because you've got O'Donnell that's playing left back.
But you'll see the two of them, though, they'll interchange. They've been doing it already, just even off the ball. You'll see O'Donnell, he wants Kizaridis to go back the park. He'll tear up. Longello will drop off, and O'Donnell will be the left winger.
How have Aberdeen started at Pittodrie, Tony Docherty?
Yeah, it's been a positive start here from Aberdeen. They had a shot, Stuart Armstrong at the edge of the box, had a shot that almost fell to Kevin Nisbet, but I think they've started the stronger of the two teams. Both teams, there's a real familiarity. Both teams playing that 3-5-2 formation, and it's going to be, for me, it's going to be the strikers that come out on top. But I'd say on the balance of play at the moment, Aberdeen are looking probably the most dominant.
Tony, do you think that makes sense for the likes of Aberdeen? You're in a relegation battle, you're up against a 3-5-2. Match up and put a little bit more responsibility on the players to win their individual battles.
I think so, yeah, and as you know, Craigs, it's very much Robbo's preferred formation. So, and seeing Olasanya playing up there with Nisbet, that's a two that should work for me without Cameron just behind it. So I think what it has done is it's set out that positive tone for the team that is go and win the match.
The first goal has gone in Scotland, has gone for Clyde away to Edinburgh City. A couple of goals actually going in early doors, and both the top two in League Two are behind. Forfar have gone one up on East Kilbride, and Salo Toure for Stranraer, his second goal of the season, has put them a goal up away to Spartan. So that wasn't in the script for the top two. Plenty of time for them to respond, but just a point separating Spartans and East Kilbride at the top. East Kilbride with a point advantage at the start of play today. It's also it's the final day of the Highland League as well, and I was reading a bit about that. Brecon City could potentially lose out for the third consecutive season on goal difference.
Crazy. And I think the last time they won the league, I think they went to Bro in the last day and beat Bro in the last day and possibly won it, but I think they lost in the playoffs against Spartan. So it's an incredible league. There's been loads of goals from both sides, Al, and Bregan City are desperate to get back into the pyramid system, aren't they, and back into the SPFL, but it looks like they may miss out.
Yeah, no other club's done it, Stephen. No other clubs went down and come back yet, and they can want to do it. And if they don't,
I think
they won't play in the Highland League next year. They'll go to the Lowland League. Lowland League East.
That's what I heard. Crazy.
Very interesting. No goals yet in the top flight. Looks like an early yellow card.
Chances here, Al.
Yes, Chick?
Yeah, well, we've had 2 chances actually, bizarrely, for Babacar Fati for Livingston, and Fatah putting a free kick in as well for United. A couple of half chances to try and get ahead. Some of the football's been played in the early stages at times. Quite sweet. Both teams having a go desperately. Of course, Livingston needing the win here to hang on with their fingertips to their Premier League existence, but United getting the ball down. It's all you Livingston at the start, but United are getting a wee bit settled into it, getting a few passes going. It's still 0-0.
Thanks, Chick. It was an early booking there at Rugby Park for, I think, Ethan Hamilton.
Yeah, it was
Halliday, was it?
It was Halliday, yeah. Curtis plays one in field, and he's away in a little sprint. Halliday just puts it. I don't think it was too much in it, I'll be honest with you. It's just a little block, but Curtis went down. The referee took about 20-30 seconds before he decided to book
O'Donnell
him.
again. O'Donnell's now playing centre forward. It's, the rotation that Motherwell have got is incredible.
Total football.
Yeah, and I'm just looking, I think Elijah Just was in a left back position there for a little spell too, Alan. So clearly
So just get a free run, just go play where you want. You know, as long as there's someone's in the position that we want you to be, we don't care who it is personnel wise. It was incredible. O'Donnell just took off and found himself furthest up the pitch.
But it's very difficult to play against them. It's very difficult to try and pin down. The key for Hearts is when they win the ball, can they penetrate? Can they get forward quickly? Because Motherwell will be so open and so disjointed looking. But at this moment in time, Al, it looks as if Motherwell are dictating the play and kind of slow it up a little bit. Yeah,
they're settled into their passage of playing, and they're looking dangerous. Maswanisi's on the right hand side. He's already caused problems. He's to the byline again. McEntee just gets there and clears it. Or Longella was tapping it in the back post. Corner to Motherwell.
That's a chance, isn't it? Almost.
A really good chance, 10 minutes on the clock. First real chance of the game. Well, Shanklin had one, Alistair, when you were at another game there. It was knocked down by Braga, and Shanklin just tried to pass it into the corner, just went wide of the target.
So no goals in the top flight as yet. Dundee United have a chance there. That was charged down. Let's get to the Championship leaders then. St Johnstone at home to Airdrie, and Chris Doolan's there for us. Anything happening early doors?
It's been a good start to the game, Alistair, from both sides, mainly for St Johnstone. If I'm honest, Josh McPake down this left-hand side is causing chaos for Airdrie. Adam Devine's finding it really difficult to stop him. They don't know when to go tight, when to drop off. And he looks like he's going to be the brightest spark on the pitch. But in the last couple of minutes, Airdrie have really come back into this game. Both sides are looking to play football on a pitch that looks very, very difficult. There's a lot about bobbling balls around the place, but both sides are looking to play football, but as of yet, no goals.
Thanks, Chris. No other goals in the Championship, but Ross County going down to another defeat last night away to Queen's Park, and they do look destined for League One as things stand, especially if Airdrie can take something from McDermott Park. But it's almost a case of Ross County's only hope now being able to catch Airdrie in 9th spot and take their chances in the playoff. It is quite incredible what's happened there.
It's mad. You know, the fact that, and listen, Tony will know more than most, won't he? Sitting there watching the Aberdeen game, knowing what's going on up there. But 3 managers in the one season, we said it last weekend, it can't always be the manager's fault, and Aberdeen's probably a prime example. The players have to take a little bit of responsibility. The squad that's been built was built to get out of the division, but it was built to get promoted, not to get relegated. So to find themselves where they are, Alistair, there's
he's a lucky boy,
wrong.
The keeper! Knocked off the line, the goal is thrown back to the keeper. He tries to Cruyff turn it, Braga wins it, almost on the byline, rolls it across and it's booted away. That's Motherwell for you. Take the chances.
That was a recurring theme last weekend, Alan. There was one where he tried to chip it over Calvin Miller, hit it off the back of his head, and the ball almost rebounded into the net. A couple of times, second half, he was caught off his line. I think Calvin Miller had a shot, someone else had a shot, Brad Spencer. So he takes so many risks.
Everyone knows now that he's going to take a chance. Everyone knows that.
But so why not put him under pressure, which is exactly what teams are doing.
Yeah, Hearts looking to respond after a good spell there from Motherwell, but still no goals at the top of the table between Hearts and Motherwell. Same at Celtic Park between Celtic and St Mirren. St Mirren with their first effort on goal there, Rory.
No, they're second. Ayunga had one as well. First on target. Ayunga dragged it just wide. Sorry, Al. St Mirren have been excellent since Celtic's start. Literally, Celtic started so well. Then there was one slack pass in the middle of the pitch about 5 or 6 minutes in, and St Mirren attacked. And ever since then, Celtic just a little bit unsure of themselves.
Chance! Goal for Kilmarnock, Hugo! Into the back of it. I tell you what, I think it's Anderson with a shot. The ball pops up into the air. I think it's a difficult one. It's coming down. It hits on the volley. I thought it was maybe a little offside. Obviously, it's going to get checked with the old VAR, but
chance, potential penalty here at Aberdeen.
Yeah, for Aberdeen, Tony.
Yeah, for Aberdeen. It's a ball played over the top that Olasanya's running onto. It's a real tactic that they're trying to play down the side of Iredale, but in that instance it's through the middle. And I need to see it back again, but it does look like Hanley might have caught him. I'm sure David Dickinson will be going to VAR. Just looking at it here.
goal confirmed here at Rugby Park.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, goal for Kilmarnock. 1-0 St Johnstone as well, Al. Rory Payton from a free kick 25 yards out, and he bends it into the top corner. Fantastic finish. 1-0 St Johnstone.
Thanks, Chris. It's all heartening, guys. What's your take on the penalty incident here at Pittodrie?
It's Grant Hanley first and foremost. I'll tell you, if it is a penalty kick, he's going to be sent off.
Celtic, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's McGregor who has a shot from the edge of the box. Gogic blocks it. He's slightly unlucky because he blocks it straight into the path of Oxlade-Chamberlain, who makes no mistake with his left foot, pulls it into the bottom corner. Celtic 1, St Mirren 0.
Yes, Craigs.
Yeah, I just think whenever Grant Hanley goes down, there's a little coming together shoulder to shoulder. When he lands, I think he gets tangled up in Olasanya's legs, which stops him getting onto the ball that he was trying to get a shot away in. If that's the case, then it's going to be... There he is, he's going to VAR. I'm not surprised. I think it'll be a penalty kick. It'll be a straight red card, Doc.
I agree with you, Craigs. I think that's exactly what happened. And there's no covering player. Kevin Nisbet's the next one onto the ball. So, you know, if it looks very much David Dickinson going across here, it looks very much like they'll be giving a penalty to Aberdeen here and a sending off to Grant Hanley.
So the referee didn't give anything first off, Tony. He didn't penalise that.
He didn't penalise it, no.
Yeah, I think there's a little pull on the left leg maybe of Olasanya. It's just...
Yeah, he catches him, he grabs his ankle with his left hand, I think it is, just as he goes down, Hanley.
Yeah,
and it definitely trips up.
Yes, check.
Penalty and sending off for me.
The big early blow for Dundee United here is it was quite bizarre. Ahmad Fatah, he just pulled up actually. I don't think there was anyone near him. Don't know if it's a hamstring. He certainly had to limp off with assistance. Ferrucci has come on to replace him for United, so a little bit change for Jim Goodwin early in the game, and forced change, and it looked like a bad one. He was given all the way up the track side and into the tunnel. A bit of medical assistance there, looked like a bad one, so it's early change.
Okay, check that. Yes, Tony, just confirm that again.
Yeah, the penalty kick's been given and Grant Hanley's been sent off.
So Hibernian down to 10 early in that game.
Goal at Firhill.
Yes, Ian.
It's for the home team. It's Alex Samuel. Ben Stanwich had a shot blocked down. It's Jamie Alex Samuel at the edge of the box. His first touch, magnificent, and then he fires a 20-yarder right into the bottom corner. Absolutely terrific finish. Barry Thistle 1, Dunfermline 0.
8th goal of the season for Alex Samuel after Rudy Payton's third had put St Johnstone ahead. As I say, Hibs down to 10 men. Aberdeen will have the penalty at Pittodrie. Celtic leading by a goal to nil. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain second of the season, and Kilmarnock one up on Dundee. Joe Hugel with a third in the league to put his side in front. So plenty of action in the early stages around the Scottish leagues, and it looks like it's going to be Kevin Nisbet who'll step up and take the penalty for Aberdeen. I think that cheer tells you all you need to know, Tony.
Yeah, Kevin Nisbet really dispatched well down to the bottom left-hand corner, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and it's probably what Aberdeen deserved. They started the game a lot brighter. You know, it's been a real tactic that they were working. Olasanya, why he's playing up there, and his biggest strength is obviously running down the side of people, and they were targeting early on in the game. I'm getting down the side of the left centre-back, Iredale, and in that instance there, it was just a ball over the top. He's quicker to get onto it, and deservedly they get the penalty, and they take the lead 1-0 to Aberdeen.
8 goals for the league.
So Mikey, I don't think Mikey's convinced. He hasn't said a word about it at all.
No, it's not. I'm not convinced. I think.
Oh, dearie me! It's just a long ball for the back, and the keeper comes out ward, and it almost goes over, bounces, and nearly goes over the top of him. What is he doing?
It's yeah. I'm not sure what the catalogue was doing there, to be honest, but he gets a strong couple of hands on it. It's safe. And then, no, it's not that I'm not convinced. That, like, you're looking at a quarter of a screen to try and determine. On reflection, I do think it is a penalty, yes, but I'm not convinced that it's a deliberate pulling down of Olasanya. I think just the pure physicality and strength of Olasanya's knocked Hanley off balance, and as he's fallen, yeah, I think he has caught him. So I do think it's a penalty. The reason I'm not jumping all over it is because, for me, and I was talking about this just earlier on actually, see if he's not deliberately grabbed him, then I don't think it should be a red card.
Is this another change to the laws you would like to see?
I agree with you, but unfortunately how the law stands at this moment. That's the only reason I went red, because I knew once it's given.
As the law as it stands at the moment is that it's 100% he's going to be given as a red card. I just feel that if he's not deliberately grabbed his arm, and if he's just fallen over, and as he's fallen he's caught him, I don't think he should be having to get sent off.
I agree.
Yellow card for O'Donnell. It's just a race into the corner with Braga. Braga does well.
It's McGinn.
McGinn, sorry.
Aye,
It's a far corner.
Yep.
He just goes into the corner and he just pulls him down. So he's booked. McGinn, free kick for Hearts. Spittles over it. This will be whipped in with his right foot, I would imagine.
Brian Easton's
up. Finley's a big asset as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, Alan. He makes such a huge difference, because he makes it more difficult for defensive teams to pick up, because there's so many threats. You know, when he's out, you're taking away a huge piece of the arsenal for Hearts from
Michael,
set
just
pieces.
looking at it, it's Maswanisi that's trying to mark him at the back post, and that's a complete mismatch. You would isolate him, you get everybody to go under the ball.
Oh, what a goal that is.
Yes, check.
Oh, what a save that is!
It's a wonderful run by
What
Terry.
a save!
Cuts in from the left-hand side on his right foot, low shot, sees getting all the way, and United 1-0 ahead. But actually another problem for United in the middle of the park as we try to restart the game already.
Chance.
They've lost a player, another injury going down, but they are 1-0 ahead. It's a fantastic goal by Terry.
Everybody stopped. Craig Halkett's right in the middle of the 6-yard box, and he just stopped.
Who headers it, Michael? Because I don't know who headers it, because there's that many in there. What a save it is.
I think it's McEntee. I think it was the 31, yeah, I think it was McEntee.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? Craig Halkett's in the middle of the 6-yard box, but he doesn't react to the ball that the goalkeeper palms down.
That's just going for Hull.
Yes, Ian.
It's the second for Barry Thistle. It's just an absolute punt over the top, and the fullback's misjudged it. Aidan Fitzpatrick outpaced him, got to the line, and just cut it back to Alex Samuel, and it's a tap-in. It's Barry Thistle now 2, Dunfermline 0.
A double for Alex Samuel. There's so much happening in these early stages. Brian Easton's put his 5-1 up on Peterhead. I think you had a chance up at Pataudry there a moment ago, Tony.
Yeah, Stuart Armstrong shot from the edge of the box here. Hibs went a back 4. You know, they went a 4-2-3 to try and stay in the game, but they're getting real joy in behind, and the ball breaks at the edge of the box to Stuart Armstrong, and he curls one just not too far away from that top right hand corner. But Aberdeen very dominant at the moment.
That Will Ferry goal, it's his second in just a couple of weeks. He got his first ever Dundee United goal in that win over Celtic, and all of a sudden he's popped up with another one to put them in front against Livingston. So goals in all the top flight games except from the one at Tynecastle, and you've had plenty of near things there, Alan.
Yeah, that's another corner to Hearts. It's a ball played to Kizaridis. He knocks it down to McEntee, goes down the line, and they've won a corner. I think Hearts have certainly got the aerial supremacy on this occasion, and the last one was played short to Spittle at the edge of the box. You'd think that this one for Kingsley would be whipped in, especially with McEntee having that header a few minutes ago, which was a wonderful save for Ward. But you know, I don't know, I couldn't see it with that many bodies, but Michael, you're saying that Halkett's sort of standing still on his heels.
Just when the ball got palmed for the goalkeeper.
With a header, just wide.
It was just, you know, as McEntee headed it, I think it took a slight deflection of somebody, and then Ward obviously saved it, but the ball's, you know, sort of bouncing out. It just looked like everybody had stopped, and Craig Halkett, I just thought perhaps, I don't know whether he was expecting the ref to blow his whistle for something, but everything was a little bit static when you felt there was maybe a chance of trying to get onto the loose ball.
Kilmarnock leading by a goal to nil at home to Dundee. What's the Dundee response been like to that Joe Hugel goal, Derek?
Not really any response, to be honest with you, Al. Kilmarnock, as you see, 1-0 up, and deservedly so. Right from the get-go, they've got it, Dundee, and they've created a few opportunities. Good balls into the box. Certainly Brandon from the right-hand side, full-back, getting up that right wing, and certainly in this left-hand side, Curtis has been excellent. What a goal it was, Al. I thought it was Anderson with the strike. The ball just pops up into the air as it's coming down. I think it's a difficult volley, but he hits it ever so well. You go from about, what, 12, 13 yards out. I thought it was a cracking goal, so it was...
he finished it well.
Yeah, nothing more than Kelly deserved at the moment. Dundee having a little bit of a spell. There's a chance! And it's a goal. Murray, I tell you what, it's the first time they've got the ball in the box. Yogan, left-hand side, wonderful cross. Back post area, there's Murray, unmarked. Can't miss, just nods it down past the keeper. It looks simple, but it's incredible. They haven't been in the game, they've not created anything. As soon as you came to me, Al, they've got an equaliser. 1-1 here at Rugby Park.
Yeah, Simon Murray's 7th goal in the league. The captain getting his side level in that one. Rory Loy, looks like Celtic are really at it this afternoon.
Yeah, they are. St Mirren did have a wee spell for about 5 minutes, but out with that, Celtic have moved the ball really quickly. Quick restarts as well. It's one thing I've noticed. As soon as they win a free kick or the ball goes dead, they're straight across and taking it. And yeah, they're outplaying St Mirren, there's no doubt about it. They do remain a threat, St Mirren, with the two big boys up front, Mandaron and Ayunga. Celtic well worthy of their 1-0 lead so far, and just wonder as the minutes tick by as well, whether they'll be looking to rack up as many goals as they can. Probably a bit early to suggest that, but they are playing really, really well. It still remains 1-0.
I mean, I'm just looking at the replays of that. I'm not sure that's a free kick. I thought Cammy Devlin won the ball.
Cammy Devlin seemed to win the ball, yeah.
Aye, I thought
there's a bit of dust up between the
there's
two
a wee
or three
bit
of them after it as well.
A wee bit of needle there, right?
It was all the wee guys getting involved as well, wasn't it?
You can't say that.
Elliot Watt was involved, Cammy Devlin was involved, Blair Spittle had a little nibble, Fadinger was there too, so just let them get on with it, Al.
Can't beat a wee man.
They'll take umbrage to that, though.
They're wee tough guys, you're fine.
Alan, did I hear you say earlier that you felt that Motherwell at home was a tougher fixture than Falkirk away at this moment in time?
Me? It's Motherwell at home.
Did you not say earlier on that Hearts had the toughest of the three fixtures?
That's what I think, aye. It's all about opinions, Rory. That's my opinion. I think that Motherwell are a really good football side. I think this pitch is suiting them. You know, it really does.
Still 0-0 in that one. 1-0 Celtic against St Mirren. Aberdeen a goal up on Hibs. Kevin Nisbet's penalty. Hibs down to 10 men. Hanley red carded for the incident that led to that. Half a chance there for Hibs as they...
Oh, what a hit, good save. Really good hit it was there from Elliot Watt. Good save. Motherwell still on the attack. Kicked away now. No, Rory, I just think Hearts haven't beat Motherwell this year. It's been 2 draws, and I don't think Motherwell were the only team that Hearts haven't beat, and vice versa. So it's, I think it's a real tough fixture. I really do. Yeah,
Chavin Chara's caught Jamal George here. I don't know how much contact there is. Maeda gets in down the left-hand side. Donnelly and O'Hara struggling to keep up with him, as many do. He pings it across the face. It's a brilliant ball in. Jamal George does well. Don't know how much contact there is, but Chavin Chara immediately looked worried for Jamal George.
Yeah, he's looks like he is going to need a bit of treatment there. He's still...
Chance, Murray! He's in! Goalkeeper spills it, Murray's on it in a flash. It's got his second. I tell you what, he was alive to the situation. You've got to look at the Kelly defenders. They're sleeping. You know, as soon as the shot's hit, keeper spills it, should put it away to the side, but there's Murray. You know, he's in there in a flash, makes no mistake. Can't believe it, 2-1 Dundee. This ground has went a hell of a quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's great striker's instinct from Simon Murray, you'd have to say. Get his double this afternoon.
What? Longello it is this time. I think that takes a deflection for a corner. Referee gives a by kick.
Oh, got to love
incredible stuff.
Murray's, he's playing to the galleries as well. He's strutting away there, having a look at the fans, you know, just saying it's all about me. It's brilliant, by the way. It's a fine header, but then everyone is sleeping. He's the only one that's alive to the situation.
He sprints up that big tunnel right before kick-off, Derek.
I watched him. He's like something out of rock, isn't he? He's like the guy just chasing the chickens about. He's some man.
He's made a huge difference for Dundee, you know, in the last few months, because
he's been brilliant.
That was the one bit that they really lacked, and he's not been fully fit. Now he's starting to get his fitness. I don't know.
There's a check going on.
Is
at
it
the
offside
moment.
They're checking? I don't know.
Yeah, they're having a little the usual, which it's going to offside.
Oh, is it?
It's been. You guys might get a wee look at it.
When I saw it back initially, I thought he was okay, but
yeah,
really not.
The difficulty is, though, because of the way the light is on the pitch with the white strips, it's so difficult to see.
It's just as soon as it strikes on target,
yeah.
keeper spills it.
It's his back foot, I think, is it?
Is it?
I think it's his back foot. He doesn't get his back foot onside. He's on his way to the box there, like the rest of the Kilmarnock defenders, but he's just had a little bit delayed with his back foot, and when the strike comes in, it is offside, but he turns and taps it in. That's a big let-off for Kilmarnock.
Jamal Jordan's going to get substituted here, and just made the international sign for the substitution, and Ryan Mullen is getting stripped and ready to come on.
Oh, what a hit, good save. Saeed with a hit, 25 yards, really good save by Swallow. He's up, getting the rebound, diving on top of it.
That is a good save. That is a good save. You see the one previously, though, Al? He should be.
For the cameras.
He shouldn't be saving. It was right down the throat of him. You know, it wasn't too high. He should have saved it. Whereas that one, that's a good save.
No, see, that's VAR. This VAR's playing havoc with me. I mean, I just wrote.
It's not just you, Derek. Believe me.
I'm going to have to take that bit of paper out and scrumple it and throw it away. I had it done as a goal there, so that's going to have to go. Nightmare.
Dundee United in the wars here. Remember, they've already lost Fatah to what looked like maybe a hamstring problem early in the game. Farrugia came on for him, but there's a problem now for Yuri Iovu. He's still in the park. He's got no number, X directory actually. He's big man's got a heavily bandaged head, so I think it was in a clatter early on with big Joel Newbley. It's a bit of a battle, that one at the back for United, but it's still 1-0 to the home team, and despite these injuries to Jim Goodwin's side.
Yeah, Yuri Iovu had a bad cut in his eye.
For you. Sorry, Fergie, wee tip for you, pencil and a rubber. Free kick to Hearts. We're talking about what? 26, 27 yards out. Kingsley's over at Spittle, as we know. It's on that left-hand side.
It's a nightmare, Biscuits. Fans can't celebrate. I can't write my notes down. It's a nightmare.
I'm not sure about a free kick.
That wasn't a free kick, Michael, in my opinion.
That's not a free kick.
He lets him try. He thinks he's getting an advantage as well, and gives him it, and then calls it back.
It wasn't a free kick. Neither of the wee challenges, Fadinger and then was it Fadinger then what, or vice versa, whatever it was, neither of them were a foul.
No.
Unless a chance for Hearts.
Yeah. You'd think Spittle would be the favourite.
There's a fair few of them. Kizaridis could do with a goal. He could do with a goal. He really could. But I would be surprised if he's hitting it instead of Spittle.
They're both over it. Shanklin's walked away, Kingsley's walked away.
Or are they going to work something, perhaps?
What is it, about just over 25 yards out, left to centre?
It is Kizaridis, it is. Into the wall, knocked back. Spittle. Oh, really good move, brilliant. Set play just wide of the target. It's zipped in, Kizaridis into Kingsley, who jumps off. He's at the edge of the box, he lays it back lovely into Spittle, who made the run, and he tries to bend it, and he's very, very close.
Alan, see, just touching on the Jamestown thing, just briefly, there's been a lot of talk about the influence. There's only 3 Jamestown players starting today and start regularly. Is that a concern, or do you think that will affect anything going forward with all that money being spent?
Stephen, Jamestown at the moment, it's trial and error just now. Everybody knows that.
Johnston now.
Yes, Chris, go on.
Brilliant delivery. St Johnstone have been pushing and pushing and pushing for that second. They just couldn't get it. One was taken off of Liam Smith's toes a second ago, and from the resulting corner, it's a second phase. It's been whipped back in. I think it's Morgan Boys. Yeah, I think it's Morgan Boys. He gets himself round the back, gets his head on it, heads it back across the goalkeeper into the top corner. Brilliant finish, 2-0.
Oh, we've got a cracker again. Larson from Kilmarnock gets it to put them 2-1 up. Oh, brilliant goal. Just picks up the edge of the box. Just takes a little touch out his feet. Wonderful strike. Down past the keeper to his right hand side. Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1. Unless Vaughan gets involved.
Yeah, it's a good strike, isn't it? 2-1 then to Kilmarnock just after St Johnstone had gone 2-0 up at home to Airdrie. So both the top two in the championship with 2-goal leads, and both looking good for the 3 points. It's a real good game that at Rugby Park. Just after Dundee thought they'd gone in front. Shirling Larson gets his second goal of the season.
Both managers promised that. They says they were going to be brave, they were going to go at it, they were going to attack, and it's been proved right so far.
3-0 St Johnstone now. What a game this is. This has been fantastic. I think it's Rudy Payton again. I'll confirm that in a wee second for you. It's a brilliant attack from St Johnstone. Their link-up play in the final third is superb. They look like a championship winning side, and I'm just not sure. 2 of them go for the last ball that's cut across the box. Both swing at it. I think it's Rudy Payton that gets the last touch, and he blasts it in from 6 yards. Yep, Rudy Payton. 3-0 St Johnstone.
Thanks, Chris. So Morgan Boys' first goal of the season, giving them a 2-goal advantage, and now Payton with a double this afternoon, making it St Johnstone 3.
Goalie drops that one again. Incredible stuff. He's injured. He's down injured, the goalie. The game's been played on. It's coming in. It's going to go out. The keeper comes to collect it, and he goes down. Drops the ball back in the 6-yard box. It's kicked out. The Hearts players probably don't know that the goalie's lying on the ground. Kizaridis whips it across and it goes out for a throw-in, but the goalie...
Oh, good save.
I don't know what he's all about.
Good save, Ryan Mullen. Maeda down the left-hand side. To be honest, Maeda's been poor. His general retention of the ball has been awful, but he's making some really good runs in behind. He cuts it back, and I think it falls to Shivan Chara. I think he's got to score. He gets so many opportunities in that box last week. Ryan Mullen ends up making the save. I don't know whether it deflects back off Shivan Chara, but for me, he's got to score. It remains 1-0 to Celtic.
Yeah, it's a good stop, isn't it? And just come back over a Celtic player for a goal kick, I think. Tony Docherty at Pittodrie, Aberdeen with a...
It's a goal offside. I thought it was a second goal there for Olusanya, but it's really good play. I think Aberdeen are playing extremely well. I know they're at a man's advantage at the moment, but they're controlling the game in the middle of the pitch. And there's a shot there from Lyle Callan from the edge of the box that gets tapped in by Olusanya, but I think looking at the pictures here from the edge of the box, he's just offside. Yeah, that's a correct decision, but it does look like Aberdeen could score a second here because they're very dominant and very much in control of the game.
Michael, you were talking about potential there for Aberdeen to go and put a bit of a buffer down if they could get the win, and now that they're a goal up and a man to the good as well, it's a massive opportunity for them to get that victory they so require.
Absolutely. I'll not profess to be the first one that thought about it. I heard Tony Docherty mentioning it, and it just felt counterintuitive because of such a poor run that Aberdeen are on, but I think we all recognise that there is quality in the team, and as much as the atmosphere is terrible around the club at the moment, every game is that opportunity to get 3 points, and at the moment they're in a very good position to try and sort of just turn the narrative slightly for them, because at the moment it's all been doom and gloom in the build up to this, and I'll be honest, you're looking at it and thinking to yourself prior to this game, it almost looked and felt as if it was inevitable that Aberdeen were going to find themselves in the playoff spot, but there's still 6 games to play, and this game, if they do win, certainly helps to change that narrative a fair bit.
I think it's a big test for the players, because when you've got the extra player and you're winning by a goal to nil, sometimes you can get a little bit nervous. You've too much time in the ball, you take too many touches, you almost encourage the press from the opposition, you maybe don't work as hard. So that'll be the message from Stephen Robinson: keep the tempo high, keep moving the ball quick.
I think what you're seeing here, Craig, is it's the exact opposite. They've really grown in terms of the game, and they look in control, and it looks like it's breeding confidence throughout the team. There's real dominance in the middle of the pitch, their ball retention's good, and they're creating opportunities. So at the moment, you know, there's definitely been a tactic to play in behind more with Olasanya's pace, and with Hibs going deeper and being a man down, they're really controlling the game and look confident.
So the only goalless game in the top flight is the one at Tynecastle, Hearts Motherwell. Celtic leading by a goal to nil. Oxlade Chamberlain putting them in front. 1-0 Aberdeen as well. Kevin Nisbet's penalty against Hibs. 2-1 Kilmarnock leads Dundee as their home form continues to impress, and Dundee United a goal up on Livingston at home in that one. The only goals in the Championship have come from the top two. Thistle 2-0 up on Dunfermline, and St Johnstone 3-0 up on Airdrie, who will remain just a couple of points ahead of Ross County at the foot of the table if things should stay the way they are. Hearts got themselves another free kick, Alan.
No, they've not.
It's a throw in. Saeed's going down twice for no reason at all, and the referee has just had enough of him. He actually ran into Finlay about 2 minutes ago and just fell on the ground, wanted a foul. So the referee done the right thing, called him over and told him, and then the next minute it goes down again. And it's a throw in the Hearts, which he's disappointed about.
But the Hearts need to just stop getting involved and try to have a debate there. They should have just picked the ball up and taken the throw in. You know, they sort of slowed the game up themselves.
Elsewhere,
such a nervy game, to be honest, Michael. Everyone, you can feel it here. You can just feel it. Motherwell were a right good side. This is we say that Benningham is to the byline, he cuts it across, it's knocked away.
I think that's what Derek spoke ahead of the game, though, wasn't it? Was get the fans come and enjoy the game. Try not to bring that tension, because it invariably goes onto the pitch and the players can sense it. The crowd go a little bit quieter, the atmosphere is not the same. I think it helps Motherwell as well, Alan.
It has it. Well, when the game's been stopped again, Eli Justi's gone down. It's a head knock. They've got to stop the game. You know, they have to stop it. Hearts have got the impetus. They're down the right-hand side, but he's got a head knock, so the game has to be stopped.
Elsewhere down the leagues, the only goal in League One has come at Bayview. East Fife leading by a goal to nil, looking to end a horrendous run of results. They are Dick Campbell's side and move themselves away from that relegation playoff spot potentially. They leading by a goal to nil against Peterhead. League Two, the goals in there: Edinburgh City 0, Clyde 1, Elgin City 0, Annan 1, Forfar 1, East Kilbride 0, and Spartans 0, Stranraer 1. The top two still trailing. Annan's goal was an own goal from Ross just a few moments ago, and that's you up to date. Dylan Ross with the own goal there as half time begins to loom. St Mirren making much of a game of it at Celtic Park, Rory?
They've had a few moments. Mark O'Hara found himself right up the pitch there, but poor decision making and pure execution of the pass just kind of completely killed all the momentum. They're trying to pass it out from the back, and inevitably they're just going back the way all the time, and then inevitably they do end up kicking it long. It's leaving the two strikers ever so slightly isolated, so the intention's there. I'm just not sure it's working in practice, so it'd be good to get in at half time if you're Craig McLeish at 1-0 down, just to reassess, regroup and try and get some better instructions. They're in the game, but Celtic are the better team.
Aberdeen, as you say, leading by a goal to nil. They've got a man extra as well after Grant Hanley was dismissed for the challenge that led to the Aberdeen penalty. So Hibs playing the majority of that game with a man fewer. Aberdeen not managed to add to their advantage as yet. How about the game at Tannadice? Chick Livingston have been scrapping away, making life difficult for a number of clubs. How are they faring this afternoon?
Yeah, I think they're doing well, honestly. You know, they are the big physical team, and particularly with the return of Joel Newbley up front. You know, he gives you a real presence, a physical presence. But they're doing all right, and you know, I think we all accept they're doomed to relegation. But I think they're going to get upset a couple of people after the split and play the teams all around about them. And you know, you have to play United again, of course. So I think they play all right. I've seen them a couple of times recently. They played St Mirren at Livingston one night. I thought they did well there. They're a hard team to play, but Stevie May puts himself about up front as well. So it's still 1-0 to United, but there's work to be done in this game for Jim Goodwin's side.
Dumbarton have got a goal up.
Sorry, Alistair, on you go.
Yeah, I was just going to say Dumbarton are goal up on Stirling. If results stay the same, Edinburgh City will be confirmed as 10th in League Two and into that playoff with the winner of the Highland League, Lowland League playoff themselves. So at the moment, Dumbarton leading by a 1-0 and Edinburgh City losing by a 1-0 at home to Clyde. Yes, Alan, what was it?
It's a nonsense.
Longello. It's nothing. It's a nothing. McEntee wins it in the air, and Longello goes down holding his head. The referee stops the game again because it's a head knock, and then he gets up.
I mean, look, I'm not advocating that you didn't stop for a head knock, but what I think you need to understand is the difference between somebody just falling down and holding their head and a genuine head knock, because we're clearly getting to a position now where players are using that as a vehicle to stop opposition attacking.
Yeah.
And Eli was justified. That was a head knock, but Longello, though, he just got beaten in the air from McEntee and decides to go down. And the referee's got no option, Michael, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not sure about that, because I think you need to understand that, you know, if you're the referee and you look at that incident, I think you need to be able to determine what is.
It's difficult sometimes, isn't it? Because the onus is on the players, because, you know, you could misinterpret. If you're a referee and you misinterpret one, you get one wrong, and that could be,
I agree with you,
very costly.
It is difficult, but I do think that, yes, the onus needs to be on players, but I think the officials should have a wee bit of discretion as to understanding what's just a player at it and a genuine head knock. Because what happens in the end there is the ball was in the box and there was a bit of pressure, and all of a sudden Motherwell get the ball back, just dropped to the goalkeeper to clear their lines.
You could all of that, Michael, is that in this game, there's a chance, nearly an equaliser for Livingston, just turned round the post. I was going to say there by Yolovu, he's taken a real bad knock. He's had to change his strip twice, and the blood's seeping through that head knock again. So, you know, the opposite scenario is players with real courage who just plough on here. I think that you may have to we're certainly going to have to change the manager at half time. The blood is coming in the head knock again.
Yeah, sometimes that's a decision that needs to be taken out of players' hands as well. As you say, courageous check, but sometimes unwisely so. Cameron Blues has given Morton the lead away to Wraith Rovers. Wraith 0, Morton 1 in that one.
Chance, Kevin Nisbet header.
Didn't come to anything, Tory, no.
Yeah, great delivery into the box, Lyle Cameron, and he just gets across his man. Goalkeeper makes a good save, but it's another attempting target from Aberdeen.
I think he's underperformed, hasn't he, this season, Kevin Nisbet, whether it's lack of consistency, not getting the team often enough, or chances not being created, but I think he's a better player than what he's shown. His numbers this year aren't anywhere near what they were last year, so if Stephen Robinson can get a few more goals out of him between now and the end of the season, then you'd like to think.
I think he's come on to a bit of form.
Half-time in
second half.
St Johnstone 3, Airdrie 0.
I think he's scored a number of goals in the last 2 or 3 months, Craigs, to be fair to him.
Well, they have gone up, but I'm saying what he should be better.
Sure, relative to...
If you look at all Aberdeen's goals recently, it's been Kevin Nisbet that's been contributing to that. There's a chance here going through, but I've got to say, having worked with him for that period, he's a good player. Kevin is a better player than I thought in terms of his technical ability, and I'm sure, you know, Craigs, he should be scoring more goals, but in that Aberdeen team this year, he's been the main goal threat.
Mark Stowe of Spartans has become the leading scorer in the SPFL this season. This is 19th in the league, and it's drawn Spartans level at 1 apiece with Stranraer. Yes, Chick?
Surprised at that. 3 minutes added on.
Yeah, it was a chance for Livingston to get earlier corner kick. The left side, Danny Wilson wins the header. The goalkeeper isn't anywhere near it. David Richards and the United go, and Danny Wilson gets a head on it, but he just puts it over the crossbar. It's still 1-0 United.
Okay, half time will be upon us very shortly, you would imagine.
All the same.
Still no scoring at Tynecastle in our main commentary game. Hearts 0, Motherwell 0.
I think the dynamic of that right hand side for Hearts again.
Jensen.
Yes, Tony.
Yeah, he's got to score. Jensen coming into the box here. It's great play by Gyamfi down on the left hand side. He just turns in on his right foot, he flashes one across, and Jensen arriving late. How he's put that over the bar. He's 6 yards for the goal on a half volley, and he really can just let it hit off him. But he's put it over the bar, and Aberdeen should be getting in at least 2 to the good.
Mikey, what you were saying?
I'm just going to say that dynamic of Hearts being lopsided, it's not really worked. You know, obviously we know that Motherwell are very good at the rotations and things like that, but just purely from Hearts' perspective, Kizaridis has been ineffectual. He's not really been able to impact the game.
Half time in Firhill, Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0.
And it's meant that McEntee's played as effectively just a blocking fullback, Kingsley's trying to play higher up, but Spittle's cutting it inside. There isn't any great penetration on the left, and Kizaridis has been ineffective on the right, so they've lacked any real creativity higher up the park.
So as Ian was telling us there, it's half-time at Firhill. Partick Thistle leading by 2-0 against Dunfermline, a weakened Dunfermline side by the sounds of it. They're pretty much guaranteed to be in the playoffs, and Neil Lennon perhaps feeling that it was wiser to rest some of his more important players for next week's semi-final than risk them away to Thistle in this one.
There's a red card check here at Aberdeen.
Half-time Al, Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, who's it for, Tony?
It's against Aberdeen. I don't know what
I think it's Gyamfi. It's Gyamfi in the back of it. Is it Owen Elding? Possibly. They kind of come together, and it looked as if he brushed him off with his arm. Now, I don't think he throws it as a weapon or punches him.
Oh, the referee's away to look at the monitor. This could be a red card.
No, it could be all evened up in terms of players then, with Grant Hanley having been dismissed early in that one. But David Dickinson, as Tony said, making his way towards the monitor. We haven't had or certainly I haven't noticed a replay of that as yet, but we'll get one shortly.
Oh, he's raised his arm. I think this could be a red card, yep.
A kind of forearm to the back of the head.
Yeah, it looks like it.
There is an action there, isn't there, from Gyamfi?
Yeah, the side of the screen, I can't really see it, to be honest.
Half-time at Tynecastle, 0-0 between Hearts and Motherwell.
I mean,
thanks, Alan.
My instinct would be that, he's barged him, he's trying to give him a shove away, and his arms maybe rolled up his back and caught him, but he's going to get sent off. But I'm not convinced that from the pictures. I mean, it's difficult from the pictures that I'm looking at there.
Which are exactly. I mean, I know that we've not got a big monitor here, but it's exactly the same as the referee's looking at, and he's just
sent off,
coming back on. Oh, it's a yellow card.
It's a yellow card,
which is fine, actually.
Wow.
Well, that's all it should be, Alan.
But how does that work?
Well,
I don't get that.
I don't
really
understand why to give the yellow.
I don't think VAR can do that.
This is half-time at Tannadice, Alistair 1-0 to United against
I think
Livingston.
that's a petulant. There's an arm up there.
But by the way,
I think he's totally got away with one there, Gyamfi.
No, I've got to be honest. I think the referee ends up with the right result.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not.
So VAR is obviously.
I need clearance of that.
Well, to try and make sense of that, the VAR has obviously said it's a red card check, it's a possible red card offence.
Yeah.
The referee's come across to look at it, but decided on reflection it's not a red card, but clearly deems it to be a bookable offence.
Cautionable offence, which is
he can still make that decision himself. That would be my reading of it. It's an unusual one. Anyway,
it's not dissimilar, Alto, when somebody gets sent off, given the red card, and they go to the screen and they downgrade it to a yellow. It's a similar kind of thing. It's just kind of the opposite way around, which you don't see that often.
I've got to say, I don't think there was enough force in the arm on the. I'm saying the throwing off it. I tried to push him in the back, stood up his back and rolled up the back of his neck. I'm not too sure there was a real intent to elbow the player in the back of the head. So I think the referee, thankfully, it looks as if he came to the right conclusion.
I must say I'm quite surprised it wasn't the red card that was shown there, but I think Michael's the same.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised too when I seen it there. I know what you're saying, boys. That but for me, it's a raised arm, and it's a kind of wee petulant one because he's been. Obviously the players have backed into him and he just put his arm out.
Half-time at Celtic Park. Celtic wants it none now.
I think sometimes, Tony, they talk about using the arm as a weapon. Does he throw it? Does he really look to try and leave one on him? I'm not too sure he does on that occasion. I think he tries to brush him off, but yeah. Some referees will give it.
Laws of the game, you've raised an arm there, and I'm not advocating that players should be getting sent off, but I was like Al, I was surprised with that decision once he goes to the monitor.
Yeah, so half-time everywhere now in the top flight. By the looks of it, they're trooping off at Pittodrie. That was the last one still playing. So we'll be getting a roundup from around the grounds right here on Open All Mics.
Football from Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
Home of every departure.
Shakes the holder, spiralling out of the Scottish Cup.
Home of every legend's return.
Martin O'Neill has taken Celtic back to Hampden.
Home of every opportunity.
And Eastern Park burst into life.
Home of the Scottish Cup.
Sensation in the kingdom.
Sports Sound brings you coverage of the semi-finals live from Hampden. Dunfermline versus Falkirk next Saturday and Celtic against St Mirren next Sunday.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yeah, looking forward to next weekend's Scottish Cup semi-finals taking centre stage. And centre stage today has to be the league leaders Hearts against fourth placed Motherwell at Tynecastle, and on commentary duties there and can bring us a half-time report, Ryan Stevenson and Rob McLean.
Thanks all. Hearts looking to extend their unbeaten Tynecastle run all season long. 19 games, 14 wins and 5 draws, but another draw wouldn't be good enough for them today. They need to be winning this one. They need to be coming out of this weekend and going into the split still at the top of the Premiership. They've put plenty into this, you would have to say, so far. Motherwell started the first half really well, finished the first 45 impressively too. They've created good things, and Schwolo had a brilliant save to deny Ibrahim Saeed, set up by Maswanise 25 yards out. It was an arrow of a shot, and it was a top save by the German goalkeeper to stop him ripping up the Hearts script. Down at the other end, another top save from Callum Ward in the Motherwell goal. It was an Oisin McEntee header, and it was a really sharp reaction stop by the goalkeeper, who's offered up just about everything he has in his repertoire in the first half, insisting on playing the ball out in really tight situations. He's got himself in a major fankle more than once, but encouraged to do so by his manager. They keep on doing it, Motherwell. They've played some really impressive stuff, and he had that big save, Ryan, to help keep this game goalless.
Yeah, it was a great save. It's actually been a really good game, I think. As I said during the commentary there, it's two teams with two different complete styles of play. Motherwell, we know, want to play out from the back, and they make loads of little passes, and then they try and exploit it on the opposite side, and they've had a couple of chances. And then Hearts have been aggressive when they've had to be. They've been really good on set plays, and that big chance for McAtee, I think a yard either side and it's a goal, but it was a great save. But I've enjoyed the game. It's two good teams playing against each other. I think from Hearts' point of view, Hearts need to try and get Longshank in the game just a little bit more. Claudio Braga is working so hard up top, but can they get Lawrence on the ball a bit more and try and create something, or even him just trying to get a shot at goal and try and get a lift on things. And I think Motherwell will be pretty happy with their away performance. And they'll just keep trying to go on into the second half and affect the game.
Yeah, the other really close thing first half was Blair Spittle. It was a well-worked free kick by Hearts, and it ended up with a curling right footer from Spittle, which had some Hearts fans in some parts of the stadium thinking it had gone in because the net did rustle, but it had gone narrowly wide of target. Derek McInnes said pre-match he would settle for any sort of win, even if it was a fourth home 1-0 victory on the trot, a fifth indeed, because they've had 4 in a row already, and it does have the look about it, this game, that one goal might be enough, Al, to sort it out. It's 0-0 at half-time.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like there's going to be a repeat of the 3-3 earlier in the season, that's for sure. And our other commentary game this afternoon has come from Celtic Park. That's live online if you want to listen to that in the second half. And I think we have been rejoined by our commentary team there, Packy Bonner and Liam McLeod.
Hello, yes, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's goal separating these two, is second for the club, came on 16 minutes after a McGregor shot was deflected towards him, broke to him, and he side-footed it home into the bottom right corner. Clever finish from the former England international, and at that point it came at a good time actually, because St Mirren had weathered an early storm and were pressing themselves with Mandron and Ayunga a threat every now and again, and Devani looking good in midfield, as the workhorse Alan Campbell. That's the only goal Oxlade-Chamberlain did with the ball in the net earlier, but was ruled offside. Nygren with a shot which tested St Mirren sub-goalie Ryan Mullen, who came on for the injured Shamal George, who picked up a facial injury after a clash with Thomas Tvanchara after a wonderful play by Dyson Maida down the left. As he played it across, the boot met face, and George, after lengthy treatment, succumbed, went off. Mullen came on. But St Mirren, just before the break there, and been the odd reminder that they're very much in this game, the side who beat Celtic in December's League Cup final, and from a Devaney corner in the 6 minutes of stoppage time, found the head of Liam Donnelly, but he could only clip the roof of the net. Over the bar it went, but again it was just a reminder, Pat Bonner, for Celtic that sometimes one goal isn't enough, and they very nearly paid the price as recently as 6 days ago in Dundee.
Yes, listen, it's been a replica of what we've witnessed for most of the season. You know, Celtic maybe getting that early goal, struggling to build on it, and then of course we know what can happen in the second half, and there's always chances when you look at St Mirren when they get into the opposing final third, the attacking third. They've got the big guys up front, and they do look a bit of a threat, and especially with set pieces. So this game is not over by any means, and Celtic desperate to get a second goal to finish it off. St Mirren is always in it.
They'll be hoping that Motherwell hold on to take at least a point from Tynecastle. Results elsewhere for St Mirren not going their way, and you're about to get to that, so I won't spoil the surprise for anyone who might be not wanting to know what the scores are in those ones. But suffice to say, it's not been a great day for St Mirren so far, though they're still in the game. Half-time here, Celtic 1, St Mirren 0.
Yeah, thanks, Liam. I'm sure there's lots of people tuned in who have been waiting to hear the half-time scores without wondering how the goals have been going in as they happen. So let's get to Pittodrie to find out what's been going on in the first half there between Aberdeen and Hibernian. And Tony Docherty.
Yeah, 1-0 at the break for Aberdeen, and a game that, you know, Aberdeen came out really dominant, I think, and in the first 10-15 minutes they were the dominant team. A real tactic they had was spinning the ball in behind Iredale, the left hand side of that back three of Hibs, and they were getting joy with that. But a pivotal moment came in the match in the 16th minute when it was a straight ball, more of a straight ball over the top, and this time it was Hanley, but again using Olasanya's pace to get in behind. It gets into the penalty box, Grant Hanley upends him, and it gets decided after a VAR check that it's a red card and a penalty that Kevin Nisbet dispatches into the left bottom hand corner. And really from then on I thought Aberdeen controlled the game. You know, they had real control in the middle of the pitch. They created two really good chances, one a Kevin Nisbet header the goalkeeper saves from a Lyle Cameron cross, and one from a Gyamfi cross. Jensen should score 6 yards out, and really it's been difficult since they were down to 10 men for Hibs. You know, they've went to a 4-2-3 formation, and they're asking for quite a lot from the front players. McGrath playing off the left, Elding playing off the right, and Scarlett through the middle, and you know, they've not really threatened the goal at all. But a really pivotal moment came just at half time there when there was a potential sending off for Gyamfi. The referee David Dixon went over to the VAR for a check, and it was sent off for violent conduct. But when he went over, he thought it didn't meet, I understand it didn't meet the threshold, and instead the result was it was downgraded for reckless action, and the award was a yellow card. So loads going on up here at Pittodrie, but at the moment it's 1-0 to Aberdeen.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. To Rugby Park then, another massive game, and Kilmarnock up against Dundee. Derek Ferguson's watching that one.
Certainly is, Al, and I've got to tip my cap to both sides producing that right good game so far, considering the overhead conditions and the horrible surface, I've got to say, Al. But at the moment it's Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1. Kelly started on the front foot, took the game to Dundee, and deservedly took the lead in 14 minutes. It was Anderson with a powerful strike, but it was blocked, the ball popping up, and there it fell to Joe Ugle about 12 yards out to thump home on the volley. The response from Dundee, well, that came in the 24th minute. Yogan down the left hand side producing a wonderful cross, and there was captain Simon Murray at the back post area to nod home from about 5 yards out the game. It was going from end to end, but it was Kelly getting themselves in front again. It was Larson, edge of the box, the fullback, a powerful strike, giving the keeper absolutely no chance. That goal coming in 33 minutes. So more of the same, and at the second half, Al, it remains Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1.
Thanks, Derek. Dundee United leading by a goal to nil at half time against Livingston. Unfortunately, Chick's technical problems are continuing to plague him at the moment. We'll hopefully hear from him again in the second half, but Will Ferry's second goal of the season has them in front against Livy. Into the Championship then, the league leaders St Johnstone at home to Airdrie. Chris Dillon's there for us.
And it's St Johnstone 3, Airdrie 0. And the first half, Al, it was a real statement of intent from St Johnstone. They looked like a Championship winning side, a side that sensed that the Championship title's not far away. And after 15 minutes, Rudy Payton got them on their way from a terrific free kick after Jamie Gullen was fouled about 20-25 yards from goal, and he bent it perfectly into the top corner. The only real sight of goal for Airdrie after 17 minutes was Chris Mockery. It was cut across, but Toby Stewart dived at his feet and gathered that up. But apart from that, Airdrie haven't threatened at all, and it could and should be more for St Johnstone. There was chances for McPake, Liam Smith, everybody getting in the box. They were just missing that final touch, and they got the second. And Morgan Boys, 34 minutes, he get round the back from a second phase of a corner, headed back into the top corner to make it 2-0. And then a minute later, Rudy Payton get his second of the day after he smashed home from 6 yards. A good bit of work from Jamie Gullen was cut across, and they could have taken their pick of who knocked it in, but it was that man Rudy Payton, who's now looking for a hat-trick. And into the second half, it's St Johnstone 3, Airdrie 0.
Thanks, Chris. Rudy Payton proving himself to be a really good signing for the Saints in the January window. To Firhill then, where Partick Thistle are trying to keep the pressure on St Johnstone as best they can. They're at home to Dunfermline. Ian McCall's there.
Yeah, and they've been dominant. The second half has actually started as I speak. First half, they were well worth their 2-goal lead. Dunfermline back three look. The changes they've made, they look all over the place. The first goal, Ben Stanley had a shot blocked. It fell to Alex Samuel at the edge of the box. He had so much to do. Took a great first touch and then struck it really, really cleanly into the bottom corner from about 20 yards. 5 minutes later, 22 minutes, Aidan Fitzpatrick pace again caused problems down the right hand side of the Dunfermline defence, and he's outpaced him and just a little cut back, and Alex Samuel's there, just a good striker, and taps it into an empty net. I mean, Dunfermline have had their moments going forward. The best one was Matty Torrey, did really well down the left channel. Cross come shot, Cooper was just about an inch from it at the back post, but it remained at half time Partick Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0.
Thanks for that, Ian. Elsewhere in the Championship, Ayr United 0, Arbroath 0 and Wraith Rovers 0. Greenock Morton 1, Cameron Blues with a goal there. In League 1, it's East Fife 1, Peterhead 0. The other three games, Hamilton Accies, Alaba, Kelty, Montrose and Queen of the South Cove, are all goalless, all into the early stages of the second half. Stennismuir against Inverness Kelly Thistle. First against second. It's a 5:30 kick-off, and it's live on BBC Alapa. Quickly, the League 2 half-time scores: Dumbarton 1, Stirling Albion 0, Edinburgh City 0, Clyde 1. They're almost certainly going to be consigned to 10th place. Edinburgh, Elgin City 0, Annan 1, Forfar 1, East Kilbride 0 and Spartans 1, Stranraer 1. The teams are beginning to re-emerge around the top flight grounds. Indeed, Kilmarnock and Dundee have already kicked off in the second half. Remember, we've got a choice of listening again for you in the second period. Stick with us on BBC Sounds or 92 to 95 FM for Open All Mics. Full second half commentary of Hearts Motherwell is on BBC Radio Scotland Extra or digital or 810 medium wave, and Celtic St Mirren continues online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, where you can find all the options.
Football from Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
This is Open All Mics. You're back with us for the second half. Also online, incidentally, I was going to tell you that there is an option for rugby commentary as well. Toulon in the Champions Cup visiting Glasgow. Toulon leading it to half-time by 17 points to 12. The other thing I wanted to bring you up to date about was in the Highland and Lowland leagues, they're coming to a climax as well. Brora basically leading on goal difference at the moment from Brecon, but at half-time Brora were a goal down to Huntly, opening the door for a last day bit of drama perhaps, but Brecon also trailing away to Turriff United, so if both sides lose by just that one goal margin, then Brora will be champions of the Highland League. We'll see what happens in the second half. In the Lowland League, they've got a couple of games still to go, but Linlithgow Roads are a point behind the leaders Clydebank coming into a meeting between the two, and Linlithgow are 2-0 up against the Bankies at the start of the second half. And third place Bonnyrigg Rose, who are in contention to try and come back up. They're trailing by 2-1 away to Broxburn. So still lots to be worked out in those ones. There was an early chance there, was there, for someone?
Yeah, Olasanya just shoots wide of the goal there, but it's a really good opportunity. Kevin Nisbet plays him in. Hibs are having to take chances at the moment, and they were 2v2 at the back there, and just on a transition it was a ball down the side for Olasanya. He probably should score, but he shoots across the goalkeeper, and I don't know how narrowly he missed, but it looked really close from up here.
This is another head knock, and the referee this time decides not to stop the game until the ball's kicked out. I don't know, I'm not getting the referee. He stopped it twice for head knocks. There's another one. It was blatant, you could see it. He did take a knock to the head. And the referee waves play on this time.
Chick, you were trying to come in there?
Yeah, I was actually, when you were talking about some of these the teams trying to get into the big time, don't know if you saw the Clyde Bank goal they scored.
Oh, it was a beauty, yeah.
It was unbelievable. Brazil in 1970, it was fantastic football. So they would be a welcome addition, I think, with what I've seen of that. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. A bit of work to do. They're trailing, as I say, by 2-0 with next weekend seeing the final fixtures in the Lowland League. Of course, the Lowland League champions meet the Highland League champions. They play off, and then there's also a meeting with the bottom side, which looks almost certainly like it's going to be Edinburgh City this season, after their points deduction didn't do them any favours whatsoever. Stirling Albion actually would have been bottom but for the deductions for both Dumbarton and Edinburgh City. They're trailing by 1-0.
Opportunity there, Al.
New play must be. Oh, it's in. He's missed it. It's in. I tell you, what an unbelievable combination of circumstances. Livingston have equalised. I think it's Lewis Smith eventually get the touch, put it into the net, down the right hand side. Big Newby got it across. I thought he'd missed it first, but it is into the back of the net. Livingston are level. What a shot for Dundee United at the start of the second half.
Yeah, there's a little opportunity there for Kilmarnock. Kilty down this right hand side. Lovely little cross back post area, and there was Finlay Curtis just getting above, but just couldn't quite keep the header down. So they've started the second half brightly. Have Kilmarnock on the front foot, looking to get that third goal, looks like.
Lewis Smith with a 6th goal of the season, drawing Livingston level, finding the top corner with that. It was Yovu getting himself in a fankle there against Newbley.
Who laid it on a plate. Third goal out, you go through. Good save. So 1-1. There's a ball still alive. I thought it was just going to fall to Kilty there. They've started well in the second half. Have Kilmarnock on the front foot. I think they've got the wind behind them. They certainly have. But a real couple of good chances there. But it remains Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1.
Thanks, Derek. Kelty have gone a goal up on Montrose. Kelty still without a home win all season, but Aaron Arnott has got his 3rd goal of the season to put them ahead as they look to try and avoid automatic relegation to League 2.
There's a chance, Motherwell, surely! Goal! Longello at the back post. It's down the right hand side. Masmanisi across. And there's Longello. I don't know where McEntee is, but Longello taps into the back of the net. Hearts 0, Motherwell 1.
The Hearts defence posted missing there.
I think gradually throughout the game Motherwell have grown into it. They've certainly had spells, they've had to defend, they know that Hearts are going to put balls in their box, but I think from a football purist point of view, Motherwell certainly have been a lot more cohesive than what Hearts have been. The home fans are a little bit agitated. I think McEntee actually gets drawn into the middle of the... There's a huge gap. Just look at the gap between the two centre halves. It's massive. He has to go to Elliot Watt. He's got to leave his right back slot to try and go and close Elliot Watt. He then passes it on, or is it Ferdinger that passes it on? Which means then the right winger, who's Kizaridis, we mentioned him earlier on, whether it was Stephen O'Donnell or whether it was Longello, he's got to do the hard yards back. He doesn't. He's far too late. There's no link at all between the right back and the right winger, and Longello just strides in at the back post and gets the tap in.
Yeah, it's a poor goal for Hearts to lose, Michael. But good, we've got to credit Motherwell, I suppose, for the good attacking play.
Very good, very good. Just the overall.
Oh, he's gave it away, Graham. He's laid on a plate. Oh, he's done it. Kilty, he's got to take the hit first time. It's Dundee centre back. He's been praised a hell of a lot this season. Not this time there. Oh, it just gives it away to Kilty. I don't know. Does he need to take the touch? You hit it first time. I'm not so sure. We've got a couple of experts in with you, Al. They'll probably tell me what he should have done. But what an opportunity it was for Kelly. They've had 2 or 3 already, second half, to get that third goal. What a chance. It's still Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1. Come on, guys, what do you think?
Well, Kelly should hit it, Derek.
Yeah, think so.
He takes the touch, allows your goalkeeper to close him down, allows defenders to get back.
Yeah,
if he hits it first time, he's a better chance of scoring.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Hamilton Accies a goal up on Alloa. That's bad news for Kelty, as I say, trying to avoid the automatic drop. But Accies, who are in 9th, have gone a goal up. Ollie Shaw is 18th of the season. It's a phenomenal strike rate for a team so close to the bottom of the league. But they're a goal up on Alloa, who have rather hit the buffers in their promotion drive.
What a goal.
Yes, check.
Livingston have gone ahead. The Blue Smith. What an assist from the goalkeeper. The players are getting back to Pryor. He got the ball, saw the break on the right hand side, played it first time. The defenders came back to congratulate the goalkeeper. That's definitely his assist. Blue Smith breaks down the right hand side. He's got big Newbley in the middle, goes himself, cuts on his left foot, hits it low beyond the goalkeeper. It's Dundee United 1, Livingston 2.
Well, Livingston, are they about to get that long overdue victory, which might just give them hope of somehow salvaging their Premiership survival? Still would be unlikely, but
header.
Yes, Alan.
Just over the bar. It's good play by Kings on the left hand side, hangs it up, middle of the 6. Half kick comes in, just headers it over the bar.
Well, Lewis Smith with a 7th goal of the season now, double this afternoon, and all of a sudden Jim Goodwin looks less than pleased on the sidelines there.
Week after week we've been going on about Livingston not winning since August, and I'm sure managers and players of opposition teams and supporters have thought, please don't let it be us. It can't be us. And it looked like in the first half Dundee United were much better than Livingston, but suddenly Livingston have turned it round, and that's the one thing you've got to say, that since Marvin came in, they've shown themselves to be a different animal, Alistair, albeit they haven't won the games yet, but they've taken points off big teams, they've stayed in the fight, they haven't rolled over. I just think, based on what Marvin's done up to this point, he probably deserves a shot at being the full-time manager, and if they can go and get a win today, I think that typifies it.
Stephen, they've been good. They've been. It's not just they've been working away in the first half, and they've been hard to play against. Yeah. I think they deserve the league. They're really playing well.
Celtic Park, Rory Law, you haven't heard from you in the second half. Not much happening?
No, there's not. Celtic, the paces went out of Celtic's game. I'm not saying they were brilliant in the first half. There was some unforced errors in there which killed the momentum of quite a few attacks. They were by quite some distance the better side, right enough. But this second half, it's just, there's not much pace in their passing, in their play. Oxlade-Chamberlain's done relatively well, but other than that, there's really not much to report. Celtic still 1-0 up on St Mirren.
That's happened over the course of the season, Stephen, where Celtic have been really good in the first half and then have completely fallen away in the second half, and it's cost them points this season.
And all it does is give the opposition a little bit more encouragement. And St Mirren don't need any more encouragement. Confidence is quite high. They've got players who have played well in the last 2 games, so particularly now with Hearts losing at this moment in time, Al, Celtic cannot afford to drop any points here this afternoon. We said it, 4 of the 6 games, including this one, are at home. This is where they're going to win the title. If they are going to win it, they're going to take 12 points maximum at home, because Hearts have to come, Rangers have to come, and then pick up something on the road. So dropping anything today is criminal.
They haven't really looked a threat, St Mirren. That's the one thing I would say. They've been compact, they passed the ball about in danger areas that aren't going to hurt Celtic. They've done okay, but I don't see how they're going to score a goal at this moment in time. But the current set of circumstances all means that a draw tomorrow would leave the top 3 all level on points.
Yeah, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? You'd have to say Dale Hilson's first goal of the season has drawn Stirling Albion level with Dumbarton at the foot of League 2. One apiece.
So Motherwell are flying forward. They've got men over as well to get the ball in the box. Eli Just is on it. That's the one. Apparently Lawrence Shankland at the far side. You can hear the fans. They're not happy at all.
Well, I'm not sure it was I'm not sure it was in the box or not, but I'd need to see the challenge again. But I mean, Hearts have got a few decisions to make. Kizaridis has been ineffectual. He's had no impact in the game, and the midfield are getting overrun, battered, outnumbered, and the manager, I would imagine, needs to try to...
They're going to get caught again. Here they go, Eli Justice through, Maswanise. Oh, he's got to score just wide. That is a foot wide. going across the keeper. What a chance.
Yeah, it's close. Just to quickly tell you that I Am Maximus was the Grand National winner, first horse since Red Rum to retain the Grand National, a two-time winner now after a previous success in 2024. So I Am Maximus wins the Grand National at Aintree this afternoon. Hearts are living dangerously here, a goal behind already, and as Alan's describing there, it could have been two quite easily there.
Well, that's very similar to the goal that actually scored earlier in the season, Maswanisi, in the 3-3 game from a very similar position. The build-up was maybe not the
Shank
same.
Over a header, just wide, good play from Braga on the right-hand side.
But Hearts need something.
Ball in the middle of the six.
Hearts,
header just wide.
Hearts need something. You know, Motherwell have certainly got another goal in there, but Hearts cannot afford to concede another goal, otherwise, you know, their title dreams could be in tatters.
Yeah, they're at the moment facing the first home defeat.
Sorry, Alison. It's a formation that's causing them all sorts of problems. Saeed's dropped off, so Halkett feels he's got to go with him. Then Just makes a run. We nearly seen it in the first half where Just makes a run, as he's doing right now, right through the middle of the Hearts defence. But then give me read it. Oh, it's a bad pass back to the keeper here. He's done well eventually in the end, but that's the problem. Hearts cannot cope with this formation shift that Motherwell are constantly doing.
What some teams have done this season, and it seems to have worked reasonably well, is try to go man for man with Motherwell. Do you think that's the best way to try and counter
that's
them?
What I think that Hearts are trying to do. But what that does is, if Halkett goes man for man, with Saeed drops so deep that there's a massive hole in the middle of the Hearts defence. And that's the problem, because then Juskus goes and tears into that hole, and it's a foot race with him and Beningame.
I think that's
the first half he just got there.
I think that's where the goal came from, Alan. That's why Halkett got himself dragged into nowhere, which meant McEntee had to tuck in as a right back, which then freed the space up for Lingelo down the left-hand side.
Yeah, Tony, was that you?
Yeah, just a chance, but it's then deemed offside. Eldon getting through. But I've got to say, there's a changing dynamic in this game here. Definitely, Hibs are the ones that are forcing the issue. Their possession's good. Aberdeen look a little bit nervy, playing out for the back at times, getting caught, and I would say at the moment the most likely team to score are Hibs.
Paul and Seo's got a second goal of the season to draw Wraith level with Morton, one apiece in that one, and Craig McGuffey's equalised for Peterhead away to East Fife in League One, one apiece in that one.
Tony, do you think that's normal or natural when you're a team that hasn't won for so long, and suddenly the opposition are coming at you, even with 10 players, that there is a little bit of nervousness? That's the thing I was kind of trying to mention in the first half. That's probably what you have to try and guard against.
It definitely wasn't visible, Craigs, in the first half, because they were taking confidence for having that extra player. But now, at the moment, do you know what? It was a wee stage in the game. You'll see there was a wee bit of nervousness playing out for the back. The crowd get a little bit nervous. You could feel it. And since that, they started well with all of a sudden you're having a chance. Since that, Hibs are controlling the game. Their possession's better. They're working it up into the good areas of the pitch, and yeah, there does you just detect a little bit of nervousness.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is natural, as you're saying, Stephen, without having won for so long, trying to ensure you hold on to that advantage. You're trying to extend it, but not giving anything away at the same time. Stephen Robinson looks pretty animated in his technical area as his side continue to lead by a goal to nil, as do Celtic against St Mirren. Killie 2, Dundee 1, and Livingston have turned it round at Tannadice. 2-1 they lead away to United, and Motherwell, having got that goal through Longolo, 6th of the season for the fullback, has put them in front at Tynecastle. In the Championship, still Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0, and St Johnstone 3, Airdrie 0. As I told you, Wraith 1-1 against Morton, and 0-0 between Ayr and Arbroath. So plenty of goals. Montrose have just equalised at Kelty. As I mentioned, Kelty haven't managed to win at home all season, and Blair Lions just got a goal for Montrose.
Home support at Celtic Park starting to get a little bit antsy here. St Mirren have had all the ball in this second half, and I mean all of it. I don't think Celtic have been up the pitch barely. They've had a couple of corners as well. They just don't look like they have a cutting edge, but a little bit of nervousness, as you were touching on there, out in the crowd, but still 1-0 as it stands. But St Mirren do have a corner.
I was just wondering.
Goal! Equaliser! I think it's Braga. It's not back from Finlay, and there's Braga with an overhead kick. I think it's taking a deflection, Michael, someone.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure. I think it goes straight.
Is
in.
it?
Set play again.
Yeah. There you go. There's another set play, Al.
Yeah, spittle to Finlay, round the back. They've done that a lot. Round the back, not back. Braga with overhead kick. I think it takes a slight deflection, maybe not.
He's got a knock as well, Braga. I don't know if it was just, in the build-up to the corner.
It was a corner, yeah, it was exactly that.
Right. Well, he's got the magic spray in his boot.
All right, we're about to get a rerun of it here, so let's take a look. Certainly a hitch kick there by Braga just inside the 6-yard box.
It just goes straight in.
Straight in, isn't it?
Yeah, McEntee is the one, but he just steps out the way. And by the way, well played for him to step out the way, because he'd have been borderline.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Paul McGinn
Check
trying
for
to
possible offside?
Yeah, I was going to say, is Paul McGinn trying to claim?
It's McGinn's thigh that it flicks.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is McEntee's interfering with him.
No chance.
Well, that's what the check will be for.
It doesn't look like he is.
I'd imagine that's what the check's for. It comes off Paul McGinn's thigh, but Paul McGinn tries to go to the ball. McEntee has the hold of him. Does he interfere? That's the question.
If that is disallowed, it's an absolute farce.
He's in an offside position.
Well,
as a one on Finlay of playing them on.
Yes, actually, I would say so. That is never,
left foot.
ever.
Fadinger's left foot actually makes
that is never, ever a foul. Never. He's not interfering. He's standing like it's a goal. If that's anything other than a goal, it is truly outrageous.
I'm just explaining what's happened. I'm not saying whether it is or whether it isn't, but I'm just saying that's the reason why they're having a look. Because McEntee and Paul McGinn come together as McGinn tries to clear it.
In a similar way to Shankland coming together at St Mirren, that was chalked off. St Mirren had a goal chalked off.
Yeah, well,
see the one with Finlay when you see it, it's a goal. The one with Finlay's playing him onside.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would think he probably is. So on two bases there, it eliminates any ambiguity whether it's a goal. I think he's probably onside, and second of all, I would argue that he's not interfering.
It's a 14th goal of the season for Claudio Braga, and it sounds like Tynecastle's just taken a massive lift from that one, Alan.
Yeah, massive lift, and then it's McGinn. He's not happy with it. Well, he's just asking the referee for clarity, and he's onside. I mean, I honestly think that McEntee's onside anyway, because I think the one on Finlay was playing everybody on.
What you've got to say is that this is a game that's right on the knife edge, because Motherwell are a very good team. They've started
the second half brilliantly, Michael. Honestly, I was saying that to one of the guys going down at half time. What a good side there. Yes, they've been off it the last wee while, but they've been a joy to watch. If you're a Motherwell fan, what a season you're having. It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
And you would hope it looks like it's going to culminate in a European place. Yeah. And rightly so.
Yeah. I mean, they're the better footballing team. There's no doubt about it. But if Hearts are able to win this game, it's by sheer will and desire. It's going to be an almighty...
It's only required at this stage of the season, Michael, isn't it?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how well you play. I know you spoke earlier about the psychology of playing well, but I think at this stage, if you can get 3 points to the board, that's
totally.
I think that's enough psychology.
Totally.
Taking a risk there, Shankland back to Halkett. Halkett doesn't see, I think it's just coming at him, and he just lunges and manages to get it away.
And Ian Wilson own goals put Raith Rovers 2-1 up on Morton, and Queen of the South a goal up on Cove. Louison with a second goal of the season. Rory, I think there was a couple of changes at Celtic Park, including a return for Arne Engels.
Yes, indeed. There's so much happening. There's a chance for St Mirren here. It takes a touch. It just lets them down in the final third again. It's Devaney, but yes, Ian Acho's on and Engels is on as well. Off go Nygren and Chivinchara. Both have been pretty anonymous throughout most of the match. To be totally honest with you, Al, but two substitutions made, and they need a little bit of a lift, Celtic, because it's been so flat in this second half. St Mirren have been better without really threatening the goal. But
nearly 3-0 there for Thistle.
Yes, Ian.
Oh, it was just great wing play by Aidan Fitzpatrick. Absolutely magnificent. He skinned this guy like wingers used to do in the old days. Got to the line and he just cut it right across. Carbon copy of Alex Samuel's second goal, but Alex Samuel was about a foot away as he was diving in to try and get it. It's a Thistle corner now. Still 2-0.
Cammy Cooper's put Kelty back in front. First goal for him in Kelty colours against Montrose, and East Fifer in front once more. 2-1 thanks to Sam Culbert's goal. He's on loan from Livingston. 2-1 they lead Peterhead.
It was confirmation
No
just came up
surprise.
on the screen that it was onside anyway, McEntee.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Michael. I thought the one who was marking Finlay was playing him on.
Yeah,
He was the one.
That's exactly what it was.
Couple of changes for Hearts. They're going for it now. Carjota's on, Kizaridis is off, and Spittle's off. And Cabore's on, so they're going for it now. I suppose at that time of the season where you have to. Going for presence, I think they'll go direct, they'll go back to front. Carjota will have a job to do going back the way, having to watch the full back, he's away already. I can see from here, O'Donnell's ahead of him already. Carjota has to switch on.
Oh, real chance, Aberdeen.
Yes, Tony.
It's a brilliant play there from Aberdeen, all going through the middle of the park. Stuart Armstrong and Lyle Cameron particularly influential, and the ball just gets across from Gyamfi. It comes out, back to Arame, and Arame's just hit one just over the bar. Great strike, but chance for Aberdeen to take a 2-0 lead.
I thought Iheanacho was going to get in there, sorry Al. Gogic slipped. A lot of players have been slipping out there, to be honest with you, but I think it was Donnelly did really well to recover in the end and save St Mirren.
I just wanted to ask you, Rory, about the return of the Green Brigade. Has that made a great deal of difference in terms of the atmosphere at Celtic Park?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not here every week, so I've experienced it a couple of times without it, and I would say absolutely. Is that constant singing, that constant, almost that kind of the undertone of the drums and the different things that definitely help towards the atmosphere for sure. But it also helps towards the groans when things aren't going so well at times. So yeah, definitely adds to the atmosphere without a shadow of a doubt.
Raith Rovers' second goal has been corrected to an Innes Cameron goal. It's a fourth for him. So we're getting towards the closing stages now, and Hearts level at one apiece now. Celtic still leading by a goal to 0. Not entirely home and dry, you would have to say. Same with Aberdeen against 10-man Hibs. Kilmarnock just leading by the odd goal as well. 2-1 up against Dundee. And so are Livingston away to Dundee United.
Really good ball across. Longello just not got runners in the box. Kingsley's got to deal with. Wait for a corner at the Motherwell.
Yeah, the thing about Motherwell, Al, is that, just because they've conceded it, it doesn't deter of how they want to play or what they want to do. They're just going to continue the same way. They're going to continue.
They caught Hearts in the first game, the 3-0 game, where they caught a short corner getting played to the edge of the box, and Slattery smashed one in. I wonder if they're going to try that one again.
Well, we're just about to be joined by our television audience. Open All Mics is going to be on BBC One Scotland for the next 50 minutes or thereabouts, so if we can just avoid any great drama in the next few seconds until we're on air, and then we can get round the grounds and hear an update from all the guys at the top flight games. Been another exciting afternoon. So welcome to viewers on BBC One Scotland to Open All Mics. It has been another riveting afternoon drama all around the country in the top flight and beyond, and we'll keep you up to date with all the goals that go in the closing stages, and we will bring you up to date with exactly what has been happening over the course of the day so far. And we will kick off at Tynecastle with the league leaders. Hearts are in action against Motherwell. That one is watched for us by Alan Preston.
Well, it's honours even Alistair in after a goalless first half, which was full of decent stuff. A couple of good saves from each keeper as well, but Motherwell took the lead in 50 minutes, and it was Maswanise down the right hand side. Longello was coming in at the back post. McEntee was already pulled into the midfield, so there was a big gap at the back, and as the ball come across, it was the simplest of tasks for Longello just to knock the ball into the back of the net to give Motherwell the lead. Hearts responded. Halkett had a header just over the bar from a Kingsley cross, but equalised in 61 minutes from another corner. Spittle with a corner in swinging to the back post. Finlay knocked it back. Braga with overhead kick into the back of the net. A long VAR check, but the referee and officials gave the goal. It's 1-1. Hearts have just won a corner going into the 70th minute.
Yeah, still all to play for in that one for sure. Similar state of affairs at Celtic Park, albeit there is a slight advantage for the home sides. Celtic against St Mirren. Rory Loy.
Yeah, Celtic currently 1-0 up on St Mirren here with 69 minutes on the clock. Celtic started really well. They've not had it all their own way in the second half. However, in the first half they were by far and away the better team. On 6 minutes, McGregor's shot was parried by Shamal George. Oxlade-Chamberlain put it in on the volley but was ruled offside. However, he was not to be denied twice. This time the same combination. It was a McGregor shot. It was blocked by Gogic. It fell to Oxlade-Chamberlain and he slotted into the bottom corner really well into the second half, and St Mirren have had most of the play without really threatening the goal. We have Ian Acho and Engels on for Shavanchara and Negrin, and it is 1-0 to Celtic.
Thanks, Rory. A couple of goals to tell you about in the Championship there. Morton have equalised. Nathan Shaw has made it 2-2 away to Wraith Rovers, and Ayr United are a goal up now on Arbroath. Jamie Murphy with a 7th goal of the season has them a goal up on Arbroath. Back into the top flight and up to Pittodrie, where Aberdeen desperately in need of a victory. They're at home to Hibernian this afternoon, and Tony Docherty is there for us.
Yeah, they just made a couple of substitutions in the 70th minute there. Keskinen comes on for Olasanya and Shinnie comes on for Cameron, and more of a maybe bringing Shinnie on to shore up a little bit, because as I said, Hibs came much more into the game, you know, but they're still carrying that threat. Keskinen up top being the replacement for Olasanya. They're still trying to play in behind, but I think the game's in the balance at the moment. Of course they went ahead in the first half and Hibs gone down to 10 men, but Hibs have impressed me, really working tirelessly in this system with a man down, and yeah, I think the game's a wee bit in the balance.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
chances. Sorry, a couple of great chances for Motherwell. Longello had one about 2 minutes ago and knocked it wide, but then Eli just Longello to the byline, cuts it back just as on his right foot. He opens up his body, tries to pass it into the bottom corner, just wide. Motherwell, 2 great chances in the last couple of minutes. Still 1-1.
Stranraer have gone ahead again away to Spartans, who are vying for that League 2 title, but they are trailing now 2-1 at home to Stranraer. Let's get to Rugby Park then. It's Kilmarnock against Dundee, both sides needing the points to move away from the relegation zone. Derek Ferguson can tell us how that one's going.
Yeah, they certainly could do with the points, and it's Kilmarnock in the driving seat at the moment. It's Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1. I've got to say, it was a cracking first half. Both teams really going at it right from the off. Kelly took the lead in 14 minutes. Joe Hugo with a brilliant volley 15 yards out. The visitors, well, they're applying 24 minutes. Simon Murray nodding home at the back post from about 5 yards out from a Yogan cross. Kelly reinstated their lead in 33 minutes. Fullback Larson driving forward, then hitting a powerful strike, leaving the keeper helpless. Into the second half, for most part, it's been all Kelly. The passed up chances though, Curtis, Hugo and Kilty. Certainly Kilty should have done better. It was Dundee's Graham, slack pass back, and as I say, Kilty was onto it in a flash. Should have hit it first time, didn't. But it's Dundee just coming into it. We've got what, 70, we're on the 75th minute, so all to play for. But it's all about, can Kelly, you know, get that gap down to 2 points. It certainly
here's
looks
a
like
chance
that at the
for
moment.
Motherwell. Maswanisi, he's clean through. He does it brilliantly. Oh, and he's missed. What's a sitter? He's clean through. McEntee's coming from his left-hand side. He slides in McEntee, dummies him. Maswanisi, then from about 11 yards, he drags his shot wide to the target. What a sitter.
Penalty in Perth as well, Al. Sam Stanton fouled inside the box, about 3 yards for the byline, and now they've got a chance to make it 4-0.
Kevin Nisbet.
Thanks for that. That was Chris Doolan who was bringing us an update there from McDermott Park. But Tony, I think you thought you had a goal there.
I think they're checking it, but for me it's a strike at the edge of a penalty spot by Kevin Nisbet. It's a goal, it's over the line, the ball's over the line. They've not given it yet, but I've just seen it back there. It's a strike that hits off the underside of the bar, and definitely the ball goes over the line. You've got to give it. They're going to VAR, they've given it.
So Aberdeen with a 2-goal advantage. A double for Kevin Nisbet. A really good strike, that one from Kevin Nisbet, to put his side 2 goals to the good, and you'd have to imagine that should be enough for the 3 points.
Have you seen a picture along the line there?
No.
Because I'd want to see that.
Yeah, you would like to.
The whole ball over the line.
I've seen it here, Mikey. It's on the red TV, and it just comes to the edge of the box and definitely hits the underside of the bar. It does land. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't say that much, but it's definitely over the line.
from the angle we've just seen just now, you certainly can't tell from behind the goal. The angle we saw previously, it did look like it was over, but
camera one effectively wasn't.
You would want to see a still of it to be sure, but VAR have confirmed it was in. As Chris was telling us there, St Johnstone have gone 4 goals up on Airdrie. Now, unfortunately, we don't have access at the moment to Chick Young at Tannadice, but there has, I can tell you, just been another goal there. Livingston were leading by 2-1 on course for their first victory in the top flight since August, but Christian Kerestej has just equalised for United to make it Dundee United 2, Livingston 2. Queen of the South have gone 2 goals up on Cove. And let's get back into the championship. We've heard from Chris as the league leader. St Johnstone lead by 4-0. But let's get to Firhill, where second place Partick Thistle are up against Dunfermline. Ian McCall.
Still Partick Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0. Just at that minute, the noise you're hearing is the standing ovation for Aidan Fitzpatrick getting taken off for one of the injured players, the regular players, Chalmers, who's coming on. It's been really comfortable for Thistle. The 2 goals in the first half both fell to Alex Samuel. Great strike from 20 yards. The first one, second one after great wing play from Aidan Fitzpatrick. He had a tap in. I mean, to be fair, Neil Lennon has made quite a lot of changes to his side, given they have got one of their biggest games in many years next Saturday at Hampden. But right at this minute, Thistle are very, very comfortable with the 2-goal lead.
I don't think that McEntee can continue here at Tynecastle. He's just gone down and then he tried to get up and stretch off, but Hearts are stripping Steinvender down there. McEntee's struggling. He's been playing right back. Steinvender would be the natural choice unless he goes for it and brings Altena on, which he could do. But McEntee, I don't think, can continue here.
Both Celtic and St Mirren have made some subs, including Callum McGregor, who's come off about 2 or 3 minutes ago. I know you were doing the roundup, but you don't see that very often, especially when the game's on a knife edge at 1-0. Even then, it doesn't happen all that often, so maybe just looking after him ever so slightly. But McGregor off, Hatate on, McCowan on as well. We've got Young on for St Mirren, as well as Richardson. Still 1-0 Celtic. Yeah,
I mean, Callum McGregor obviously missed a couple of games just recently with an injury, and possibly they're just trying to manage that. Stephen, we've been watching a couple of reruns of the Motherwell chance that Alan described a couple of moments ago from Tawanda Mazwanisi. I mean, he does absolutely brilliantly up until the finish, and he's unfortunate that he drags his shot wide.
It stinks of having too much time to think about it, because it's turning the halfway line's terrific. He sits down McEntee, and then he starts stuttering a little bit, whereas I think he's better when the ball comes and he just hits it, where he's had a few seconds to think about it, trying to digest it in his mind, and he's ended up trying to complicate it as opposed to just putting his laces through it and put it in the back of the net. But that would have been a real killer blow for Hearts, but with 10 minutes to go or whatever it is, they're still well within the chance.
It's the equaliser for Dundee. Scott Wright, lovely finish. He's just played down that left-hand channel into the box. Keeper comes out. I was wondering where the keeper maybe should have just stayed, but he committed himself, and Scott Wright just slots it past him into the back of the net. It's been all Kilmarnock in the second half, but Dundee level 2-2.
Scott Wright's first goal since coming back into Scottish football, and it could be a really important point that for Dundee if they can hold on to that. Talking of Dundee, let's head there right now to Tannadice. We've got a hold of Chick Young. He can bring us up to date with how things are going at home to Livingston.
Yeah, in the middle of my technological breakdown, Alistair. I think you've got the fact out that Dundee United have equalised. It was 2-1, remember, to Livingston here, playing well. Ferry had put United ahead. Smith with a double put them 2-1 ahead, and then substitute Christian Kerestez came on. It's a great corner on the left-hand side, fired in from Ferry, and a magnificent header by the big sub who'd come on in self-defence. Get the header on it and powered it beyond the little goalkeeper Jerome Pryor. United have actually turned the screw a little bit in the wake of that. They have another corner kick, this time from the right-hand side, and again the big centre-halves are up trying to attack this ball and see if Jim Goodwin's side can get a winner. Corner kick on the right-hand side, piled into the box. United just trying to get ahead here. It's just we're talking in the press box here that United, Livingston haven't won a league game in 245 days. Here's a chance. Oh, just over the crossbar. 245 days, and as we stand, they're not getting it today either. It's still 2-2.
Hearts have made a double change. McEntee's gone off, Kingley's gone off as well. Steinbender's come on. Hearts have gone to a back three. Altena is playing left wing back, Carjota right wing back, but Carjota's all over it. He doesn't know where he's going. He's asking where he's got to stay. It's Derek's really thrown caution to the wind.
Raith Rovers have gone 3-2 up. Jordan Doherty has made it 3-2 against Morton. Scott Honeyman's 10th goal of the season has put Dumbarton 2-1 up on Stirling Albion, and Cammy Cooper looks like he's going to help seal Kelty's first home win of the season. They now lead 3-1 against Montrose at the foot of League One. That's a double for Cammy Cooper this afternoon. So plenty of drama unfolding once again all over Scotland, right through the SPFL. Hearts 1, Motherwell 1. Celtic leading by a 2-0 against St Mirren. Aberdeen 2-0 up now against 10-man Hibs. Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2, as Derek's just told us. And United 2, Livingston 2 now in that one, as Livingston still look for that long-awaited victory. Now the longest ever top-flight run without a victory, an unwanted record held by the bottom side.
Carjota, as he does for Hearts, he comes on and he always makes a good impression on you. He never started a game yet, but when he comes on, he's always involved again. He's done it well. He's going to take this corner on the right-hand side.
Would you say, is there a likelier winner in that game at the moment, Alan? Is it too close to call?
It is close, but the chances, Motherwell has been incredible, the chances that they've had. Hearts have won another free kick. Saeed he's just fouling after, eventually Saeed gets booked. He just fouled Devlin on the left-hand side here. It's another free kick to Hearts. The chances that Motherwell have had, Alistair, you would think that they'll rue them if they don't go on and win this game, because that one, especially with Maswanisi in the middle of the 11 yards out, 12 yards out, middle of goals, you think he's got to just put it in the back of the net, and he chokes his shot. But they've had some really good chances. Motherwell. Hearts got back in the game with that Braga overhead kick for the corner, but that's really been about it in the second half. But they've still got time. There's 8 minutes to go.
I think Motherwell are unfortunate there. Cammy Devlin jumps up. I think he catches it with his arm to begin with, and then after that, I'll be honest, I'm not sure it's a free kick. I think he just sort of falls over.
Yeah, he's quite good at winning free kicks in good areas like this for Hearts, so we'll see if they can benefit from it. But it's been a good old second half, that one at Tynecastle, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. But as Alan was talking about, it's really a game that Motherwell will be looking at and thinking, how on earth have they not managed to put it to bed, because they've had great chances.
Well, there's a head knocking the box again.
Yeah, it's
Kabori.
I think it's Carjota. Kabori, sorry. Lauren Shanklin's issued it. I'll say to the referee, got kicked in the head on the way back. He's trying to set up for an overhead kick, and I don't know. You'll need to have a look at this.
Oh, he does. He does get kicked in the head. He does. He gets kicked in the head by Stephen Welsh. Now, does that constitute a penalty?
No, mate. Is it a foul?
He's been kicked in the head, though. He genuinely has been kicked in the head. Stephen Welsh
checking for a penalty kick.
Stephen Welsh kicks him in the head.
He goes to kick the ball, and I think does it hit Kabori or bounces beside him, and he just kind of toe pokes him in the back of the head.
I totally get, yeah, but
so is there enough force? I don't know what it boils down to.
He's kicked him in the head. There is no doubt about it.
Ultimately, he has, and I'm with you, Mikey. I think I know what you're getting at. That could be a penalty.
Yes.
VR, go and look at that. They could deem that to be a penalty.
Very much so.
It'd be so. I mean, it's so innocuous.
Yeah.
There's absolutely zero intent in it, but we know that doesn't come into it.
It's not innocuous in terms of there's a bit of force in it, but it's just random as anything.
That's the referee to go and have a look at it.
I think this will be a penalty.
It's going to be a penalty kick, I'd imagine, yes.
But it's so random. There is no malice, there's no intent, but he has kicked him in the head, not with negligible force as well. This would be incredibly harsh on Motherwell the way the game's panned out, but I do think it'll be a penalty.
Well, Jens Bertolascu has had his issues with the SFA and the use of VAR.
That is a penalty.
Well, the only way you can describe it is if a centre forward touches the ball with his foot and you kick him in the ankle, it's probably going to be a foul.
Yeah,
so it shouldn't be any different than heading the ball and getting the kick in the head. So
in fact, it should be worse because it's the head, isn't it? That's a penalty kick. The more I see it.
Yeah, just to try and describe this as...
You're right, Michael. It is a penalty kick. Referee's gone over and had a look, and it is a penalty kick. You could see it right away. I'd said it right away that he looked as if he'd been kicked in the head. Lawrence Shanklin was adamant, absolutely adamant he'd been kicked in the head.
Stephen Welsh is looking for an explanation here from the referee.
I can understand Stephen Welsh's perspective and Motherwell's perspective. They are completely aghast and frustrated, annoyed, the lot of it. But I've got to say, it's extremely unfortunate, but it is a penalty kick. The more I see it, and the ball's dropping down, and it's Stephen Welsh is going to kick it, and it just so happens Kabore flicks it with his head, and he gets kicked in the head instead of the ball.
Yeah, Kabore, just to describe this as well, Kabore has fallen backwards, so he's effectively lying on the ground when Stephen Welsh kind of flicks his boot trying to play the ball, but catches the back of Kabore's head. I think it's one of those ones where if that's given against your team, you feel extremely hard done by, but I think by the letter of the law, I think we're all now in agreement that probably is a penalty.
Due to the fact it's not a negligible touch with the boot, there is a bit of force in it because he's trying to kick it. But in the most unlikely of circumstances...
Yeah, this is massive, Alan.
There we go. That's huge.
It's due to miss one.
It's due to miss one. Shanklin. Callum Ward bounces on his line. Referee makes sure everybody's out the box. Couple of deep breaths from the Hearts skipper. Can he put them 2-1 up with what would be 4 or 5 minutes to go? That's the biggest kick of the season for him. Probably of his career, I've got to be said.
Yeah, could well be.
Goal! 2-1 Hearts. Lawrence Shanklin, Derek McInnes. I've just looked here. Will make changes. They'll get centre halves on, and they'll try and see this through. Unbelievable scenes here at Tynecastle. 2-1 to Hearts, Lawrence Shanklin.
So Johnston 4, Airdrie 0.
Well, you've got to say the footballing gods are shining down and looking down on Hearts here, because they've not been great. Motherwell have been the better team, but at the moment they've taken a lead with a few minutes to go in very unlikely circumstances. I do feel for Motherwell, I do, but I do think it was the right call. And Lawrence Shanklin off the inside of the post,
a brilliant penalty,
right in the corner.
To be fair to Lawrence Shanklin, he was adamant it was a penalty. He was absolutely adamant. Straight away it was a penalty kick. You could see him gesturing to the referee. He's kicked him in the head. So to be, and just as I predicted, McCarter's about to come on. I would imagine it would probably be Braga that would take off maybe. We'll wait and see. But Motherwell making 3 changes as well. Saeed's off. He's coming off.
So Lawrence Shanklin and Claudio Braga once again on the score sheet for Hearts as they move in front of Motherwell. Coming from behind, Claudio Braga with his 14th of the season, and that is Shanklin's 13th in the league as well. Both of them have been absolutely massive in this title charge, and Hearts look like they will be stretching their advantage over Rangers and retaining the gap over Celtic, unless Motherwell can find something late in the day to peg them back. Still elsewhere, it's Celtic 1, St Mirren 0. Rory, we've barely heard from the second half.
There's literally been, I mean, there hasn't. St Mirren have had all the ball. Celtic have been really, really poor in this second half. They've given the ball away continuously. St Mirren have dominated large spades of the game in this second half, but they haven't really created anything. And I'm sure Craig McLeish will come out and say how brave Celtic have got a corner now, right enough, how brave they've been, and they have taken risks in their own half. They've played their way out of trouble. They've showed good composure. You know, all the changes that Craig McLeish spoke about making, they have done that, but I'm not sure that the risk has merited the reward, because the reward hasn't really been ending up and getting into good positions high up the pitch. It's just kind of stopped about 2/3 of the way up the pitch, and they've ended up back at the goalkeeper. So
as much as for Hill Stadium, sorry Rory, Partick Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0.
As good as St Mirren have been in this second half in terms of keeping the ball at times, just haven't looked like scoring now, which has led to not much happening, hence not many updates. So it's still 1-0 Celtic.
And there's the change I predicted there. McCarthy's on. That's Hearts got 4 centre halves now. There'll be 6 added on minutes here at Tynecastle. Long way to go still.
Yeah, a goal to tell you about for Annan in League 2, 2-0 up on Elgin. Some final whistles beginning to go, including Forfar beating the League 2 leaders East Kilbride by a goal to 0. And but last I saw, Spartans were also losing at the top of League 2. And We'll bring you up to date, of course, with all the classifieds once all the full-time whistles have gone. But 5 minutes or thereabouts then remaining at Tynecastle as Hearts look to hold on to that advantage that they've got for themselves. 2-1 they lead Motherwell, and the Tynecastle looks to be bouncing again, Alan.
Oh, it's brilliant. The atmosphere is incredible. There's been a real nervousness, as you can imagine, and it's difficult for the fans. Have never been in this situation. Just got to try and support their team. They're playing against the most dangerous side for me at the moment, and Motherwell have been really good. Just never managed to. Oh, Shanklin sees the keeper off his line, tries to lob him from about 30 yards. Keeper manages to get back. A wee bit more, Michael, on it. It's in.
If that's a foot higher, it's in. Yeah.
4 minutes added on at Celtic Park.
What were you going to say, Craigs?
I just think Shanklin should score. You know, if he puts a little bit more pace on it, if there's one player on the Hearts team who's on the pitch who could execute that, it's Lawrence Shanklin. So I think he'll view that as a big missed opportunity.
Aberdeen coasting to victory at Pittodrie now. Tony, would you say?
No, not at the moment. There's 2 corners in a row. Put them under a wee bit of pressure. They made 3.
Kabori scored! Scored! 3-1 Hearts! Brilliant! He's had Jota to his right. He decides to step over it. This guy's been much maligned by the Hearts fans, but what a finish that is! Beats the keeper low his right hand side. Hearts 3, Motherwell 1.
How's this game 3-1? I don't know. Honestly, I think before I see the replay, I think he's hit it and it's hit his standing foot, because Callum Ward is sold it.
Let's get to Tannadice as a penalty check.
Yes, Dundee United.
No way!
He scored!
We've got a penalty at Rugby Park.
It's a goal. Dundee United have clinched this 3-2.
Okay, and let's get to Derek at Rugby Park. Who's the penalty for, Derek?
It's a penalty kick for Dundee. The reason, but it was just seconds ago, come out the opportunity just to put the ball into the box. They made a couple of passes from the free kick. I don't understand why. The fans were doing their absolute nut. Dundee have just broke on them. I think it's Scott Wright that's been brought down. I wasn't sure there was too much in it, but probably enough. The guys will probably have a look at it in the studio, but the referee had a second or two to think about it and thought, yeah, that's a penalty kick for me. So, yep, VAR will be having a look at it, but at the moment, Dundee, what an opportunity to win this game, because certainly in the second half, they've been second best for most part, but they've got an opportunity to win this game.
2-0 Aberdeen.
Thanks, Tony. Wow, well, Dundee United look like they've won it late on. Zach Sapsford's penalty making it 3-2. In fact, the full-time whistle is gone there. Heartbreak for Livingston once more. Look like they put so much into that game. And again, check.
Yeah, full-time, Alex. Dramatic circumstances. Livingston, as we said, haven't won in 245 days. They can add to that. They've played really well in front of a crowd of 8,470. It was Ferry put United ahead. A double from Smith made it 2-1, and Kereston scored a great header to make it 2-each. But from the penalty spot, last kick of the all, actually, Zach Sapsford stepped up, drove it beyond the goalkeeper, and Dundee United has salvaged a win, and it now looks forlorn, the hopes of Livingston for staying in this top league. It finishes at Tannadice. Dundee United 3, Livingston 2.
Thanks, Chick.
We're still unsure, we're still waiting on VAR, they're having a look at it, a check, but the referee, he gave himself a second or two, try to compose himself, and then he thought, yeah, there's probably enough contact.
I've not seen a replay.
to give a penalty kick. So it was Scott Wright going through the middle. I think it might have been Stanger that brought him down. But it's crazy because Kilmarnock, away on the left hand side, they have an opportunity just to get the ball in the box. I don't know why they played a short free kick, but Dundee broke on them with pace. And it was Scott Wright, and he might be steadying himself to have the hit. It's about how much contact there was, but obviously VAR, they're taking their time.
I think they're looking at whether there's an offside as the ball comes in, apart from anything else, Derek.
Do you know the thing is, like I was saying in the first half, do you not find it incredibly difficult with the shade of the pitch, with the light on it, to actually distinguish between the strip of Dundee and like the light that's on the pitch? You can't really see.
Yeah, they're checking for an offside. That's just been clarified there. But you know that the pitch is a shambles anyway, Mikey. You know that. It's
full time at Celtic Park. Celtic win the war of attrition. Celtic won. St Mirren 0.
Thanks, Rory.
So effectively, it's going to be a penalty kick if he's onside.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they're checking offside. Otherwise, we just rule it out.
Yep.
So it must be a subjective decision, which we always say now. Subjective decisions will stay on the field. So now then depends on the lines being drawn. But Michael said with the angle we have and the different shades of the pitch, it's impossible to look at it on the TV screen and make a call.
I can't tell you whether it was a foul, whether there was actually a foul committed or not, irrespective of whether it's offside. I've genuinely no idea.
To me, I'm watching it obviously in real time. It looks as if he's just steadying himself, Scott, to have a strike. And he feels a bit of
no, it's offside. Kabore scores again, but the offside flag goes up.
How are we going to bring Biscuits down after that? If they win, that's
a couple of weeks to the next game, first. Couple of weeks to the next game.
Alex,
right, sir.
See the thing about Kabore's goal as well, the beauty of it. You know how every Hearts fan recognises he falls over and slips all the time. That's where the goal comes from. He slips and he
tackles himself effectively.
He is offside. It hits his standing foot as he's going to shoot, and it goes into the bottom corner. So the slips actually worked. The slips worked to Hearts' benefit this time.
You know what? He probably needs that because he's been much maligned by the fans, and probably most of us as well. Because you're right, he does. He slips. He's down all the time. Full time, 3-1 to Hearts at Tynecastle. Brilliant result. One of all credit to them. What a right good side they are.
4 minutes now, over 4 minutes.
This is ridiculous.
4.5 minutes we've been waiting.
But Derek, this is a huge call at the bottom end of the table. Aberdeen have won. If Kilmarnock lose, they go 6 points above them. So
I get that. I get that, Stephen.
change.
But it's just for me, it's with VAR, which I just
but they have to get it right.
Yeah, of course.
I think in a game like this, the magnitude of what it could mean, I think they have to get it spot on. I'd rather take the 4.5 minutes, make sure it's the right call.
What are they looking at then? I'm at a loss to help you, Derek, here, but I'm with you to a certain extent. See if you can't decide. You've got to stick with the on-field decision.
5 minutes now, Mikey. That's 5 minutes, and it's the crowd. It's the reaction of the crowd, as not just the Kilmarnock fans, the Dundee fans as well. They're not happy, and we go on.
5 minutes.
I'll tell you what,
I've got a clock on it, so we're 5 minutes 15 seconds.
Whoever's going to take the penalty kick's going to need a warm-up.
They've
been waiting. Scott Wright's been waiting and hanging about for a long time.
Yeah. And this is the thing, if we're going to restart, and this, you talk about players picking up injuries like that, but they've been, and the players have not moved. They're all kind of looking about, wondering what's happening.
And then you've got the punters in the stand, Derek.
And that's
nobody has a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're checking.
Same here. I'm just like the rest of the guys within the ground. We're going nearly up to 6 minutes.
And there doesn't seem to be any end in sight here.
And it's a cold old afternoon. The wind is howling from left to right. So, and that's the thing, when Scott Wright, if he is taking the penalty of it, he's hitting into the wind as well, so it's a pretty difficult penalty kick he's facing as well. So he's got the time, he's contemplating what I'm going to do with it.
He's talking to the captains here. I think there's been a problem with the technology. I think something's crashed.
6 minutes,
it's not
10
working.
seconds now.
It's not working. I mean, seriously.
Or they can't get a line in somebody's foot. Which means then, you said it, on-field decision has to stand.
Yeah.
And do you know something? See, up until now, the game has been brilliant. We're at 2-2. The game has been going end to end. Kilmarnock, there's the referees going over. So going over the monitor. We're not sure. We still don't know what's happening. So we're heading the ball 7 minutes.
So just to clarify, Derek, did he award the penalty in real time in the game?
Yeah,
he did.
To me, it looked as. And what I say is, Al, he gave himself a second or two, and he thought, I think there's enough contact there to give the penalty. He's over. He's looking at the monitor at the moment. He's surrounded by fans as well.
So at the moment he's being shown a still of the ball coming in, so it looks like he is being asked to decide is it offside.
If it's offside,
that's correct, Al.
And so the system's crashed, basically.
It seems like there is a fault.
So the system's crashed. It doesn't work.
No, but that happened in Aberdeen where someone was blurred out, so they couldn't get the lines on. So now they have to ask.
The system doesn't work.
And remember,
they didn't ask.
He's pointing. I think it's a penalty.
Yeah, he's pointing to the spot, isn't he?
Audrey, they didn't ask the ref to make a decision. They basically overruled it and said we can't determine if he's offside, so you need to disallow the goal, which I think is an absolute nonsense. How can you disallow the whole point of a game of football, scoring a goal? You couldn't determine if he was offside, so you said, we've got to chalk it off. That's what happened at Pittodrie. Kevin Nisbet scored.
Yeah, by the time this penalties took, we're talking over 8 minutes.
Yeah, and it is a massive moment, because this would take Dundee, if they can score this, it would take them 8 points clear of Kilmarnock.
And our sub, it's not Scott Wright, it's Joe Wesley that's come on. He come on about 20 minutes
just to take the penalty.
Yeah, but not to. So yeah, we're over 8 minutes. So it's Wesley. Can he win it for Dundee? A little run up. Oh, what a save! Brilliant save. Keeper down, Ruse down to the right hand side. Good strong hand. Looks as if this game's going to remain 2 each.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's it, it's all over. Full time. Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2.
What happened to the 6 minutes?
That's my point.
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
What's happened to the 8 minutes? When was the penalty given? Surely there was some time to play, no?
Who knows?
I'm going to miss my dinner tonight.
Another dramatic ending. Brad Lyons still arguing the toss there, but Kilmarnock have got themselves a point from that game. It could have been none had Joe Wesley been able to score, but he's been saved by Kellerose, and Neil McCann's Kilmarnock get themselves a point. So it's time to get round the grounds for all the full-time results and reports, and we'll start at Tynecastle. It was Hearts against Motherwell, top of the table. Hearts, could they get the victory they so desperately desired? It was watched by Ryan Stevenson and Rob McLean.
They certainly could, Al, and it's days like this that make you think that Hearts' name might be about to be etched on that Premiership trophy. This was a game they could so easily have lost. They should have lost it when you look at the number of chances and the quality of chances that Motherwell had. They were ahead in the game when Longolo tapped in. Hearts caught out defensively. It was Claudio Braga who hauled Hearts back into it with a hook shot after a Findlay's header. There was a big debate over VR about it, but the goal did stand. That was the equaliser. But then as Hearts piled players forward looking to get the goal that could win it for them, they were caught repeatedly on the break. Longolo missed a brilliant chance, just should have scored. Maswanise missed incredibly when he'd done all the difficult bits and then placed his shot wrong side of the post. A shot from Elliot Watt took a deflection. You wondered if that was spinning in. Somehow it stayed out and it went again wide of target. Hearts were living so dangerously, and then suddenly the chance to win the game. A VAR spotted a boot striking the head of Pierre-Landry Kabori in the 6-yard box after a defensive scramble. Matthew McDermott pointed to the spot. Ice in his veins, Lawrence Shankland put the ball in off the inside of the post as Callum Ward went in the other direction, and suddenly the Hearts fans who'd gone silent were making lots of noise. It seemed like it was going to be a tension-fueled final few minutes of stoppage time, but Pierre-Landry Kabori managed to sort all that out with a breakaway run and a left footer which somehow managed to squirm its way past Ward and in for 3-1. And at that point, with just a couple of minutes remaining, we knew what the final outcome was going to be. But this was an incredible win for the Jambos, wasn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, listen, Derek McInnes said it before the game started. He just needed to get the 3 points. He would obviously like to have played better. I'm saying played better, managed the game better, because during that game there, if Motherwell had gone 4-1 up, you would have said that, yeah, it was that's what should have happened. I mean, the chances that they had, the way they fashioned them, was absolutely outstanding. It was just that missing final bit for Motherwell, and Hearts could have found themselves in a world of trouble. But somehow, cometh the hour, cometh the men, I would say, because their big players had to step up, and Claudio Braga, who was the best player on the pitch today, managed to get the goal. And then Kabori, which I said I think he deserved it, he managed to put his head in a position where he manages to get the penalty, and Lawrence Shankland steps up and is the coolest guy in here, puts it away, and then they go on and they manage to get the 3 points. I mean, it's just a massive 3 points, but probably a bit more hectic than what Derek McInnes would have wanted. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points, and then all the pressure now goes over to Rangers tomorrow.
It's all about finding ways to win, isn't it? Quite incredible how Hearts have done it, and in the end with something to spare as well. They move on to 70 points. They're 3 ahead of Celtic. Rangers can go back to within 1 if they win at Falkirk tomorrow, but that's easier said than done, you'd have to think. Top of the world on the PA at the moment at Tynecastle. Top of the Premiership, they certainly are, with 5 games to go. Hearts 3, Motherwell 1.
Yeah, thanks very much to Rob McLean there to Celtic Park. Then could Celtic keep on the coattails of Hearts this afternoon as they hosted St Mirren? It was watched for us by Packy Bonner.
Yeah, Celtic get 3 points, but I've got to say not very convincing. And it was a relief at the end. Celtic got their goal after 16 minutes when Negrin cut in from the right, laid it into the path of Oxlade-Chamberlain on the other side of the box. He laid it off to McGregor, who had to strike and ricocheted back into Oxlade-Chamberlain. He finished into the corner of the net, and then you were thinking Celtic will go on and win this game quite convincingly, but it didn't happen. And it was actually St Mirren who were the better team. And especially in the second half when he pinned Celtic back around the edge of the box. Iheanacho came on for the ineffective Shifanchara, who had a big chance in the first half, but just lack of confidence, and that helped Celtic to get further up the pitch, and then they started creating a couple of half chances. Iheanacho had a great chance at the near post when he just knocked it wide, but again they couldn't get that elusive second goal, and as the game was going on, you were just waiting for St Mirren, who played really well in that second half, played through the thirds of the pitch, but they hadn't a cutting edge in that final third to put Celtic under pressure, and it ended up 1-0, and you could see the relief not just from the fans around this stadium, but also from the players. 1-0 for Celtic.
Thanks very much to Pat Bonner. Next to Pittodrie, a must-win game you felt for Aberdeen. They were hosting Hibernian in that one. How did they fare? Tony Docherty can tell us.
Yeah, and it did have that feel of a really big game, a game of huge significance, and that was reflected in a crowd of 18,323. And I think Aberdeen, you could tell the players felt that. They started the game stronger. Tactically, they were working down the side of Iredale, getting all Osanya's pace, getting in behind, and it paid dividends. They get a few opportunities from that, but then in the 16th minute, it was a ball over the top that Osanya got on the end of. Hanley in the penalty box upended him, and the resultant penalty also led to a red card, which the penalty was converted by Kevin Nisbet, and Hibs went down to 10 men. Hibs rang the changes. They took off Iredale and they put on Bashiri, went to a 4-2-3. But really, I thought Aberdeen grew in confidence in terms of that first half, and the chances to go two ahead. There was a real good chance. Kevin Nisbet gets a header, saved with the goalkeeper. Jensen had a gilt-edge chance from a Gyamfi cross and should have been getting in at more than 2-0. But just in the 45th minute, there was a potential sending off by Gyamfi, which the referee gave. Well, it was given as a red card. He went to the monitor, but it was downgraded to a yellow, and they went in 1-0 at half time. The second half, they came out, and again that dominance was shown. Olasanya had a shot going right across goal, but I'd say then for the next 15-20 minutes, Hibs really came into the game and showed that they looked the more likely team. They dominated the ball. They looked the more likely team to go and get something out of it. But again, the game changed, and a more dominant Aberdeen came into it themselves. A couple of changes that were made, and the goal, listen, you watch the goal tonight, Nesbitt, it's a brilliant fit. You'll see his first touch is outstanding, and he crashes one off the underside of the bar, and it puts him into an unassailable 2-0 lead. They rang the changes again. Hibs brought on Newell, Boyle and Andrews, but to no avail, and it was a really, really important but a big win for Aberdeen today. I do think they stood up to it. It was a big match for them, huge significance, but I thought they were deserved winners in a 2-0 victory.
Thanks, Tony. Next to Rugby Park, late drama in that one for Derek Ferguson to witness Kilmarnock against Dundee.
Yes, Al, it finished Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2, a proper game of football, I've got to say. Certainly it was a cracking first half as both teams went at it right from the off. Kelly taking the lead in 14 minutes, Joe Hugo with a brilliant volley, fifth from about 15 yards out. I would say the visitors there applied. On 24 minutes it was Simon Murray nodding in at the back post area from about 5 yards out from a Yogan cross. Kelly, where they reinstated the lead in 33 minutes, it was fullback Larson with a powerful strike, leaving the keeper helpless. Into the second half, Kelly searching for that third goal, had good opportunities through Curtis, Hugo and Kilty, but then it was the equaliser against the run of play. It was sub Scott Wright who come onto the park, getting that equaliser on 81 minutes, slotting past the advancing Roos into the back of the net at the angle. You're talking about that controversy, Al. I don't think I've got time for that, we'll be here all night, but it was a penalty given by the referee. Scott Wright fouled, took 8 minutes before the penalty was took, and it was sub Joseph Wesley with that strike saved by Kel Roos in goal. So great game of football. It finished Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2.
Thanks a million, Derek. It was also a highly dramatic game at Tannadice. That one ended up 3-2 to Dundee United against Livingston. Chick Young is away gathering some interviews from that, so we'll hear further from the managers after that one. But 3-2 it finished to United against the bottom side, Livy, who look all but gone at the foot of the table. We'll give you the classified football results and the tables very shortly, but let's get a couple of reports from the championship matches. The two top teams were in action today, and let's start with the league leaders. St Johnstone, they were at home to Airdrie. Chris Doolan was there for us.
Yes, Alan, it finished St Johnstone 4, Airdrie 0 here in Perth. A well-deserved victory for the championship leading side. They took the lead after 15 minutes through Rory Payton, who was terrific all day, from a lovely free kick from Rory after Jamie Gullen was fouled about 25 yards from goal. Lots of chances followed in terms of Liam Smith, Josh McPake, Czech Diabate. They all just missed and no more. But then they got that second goal in the 34th minute through Morgan Boys. A terrific header. He got round the back, the second phase of a corner kick, and he headed back into the top hand corner to get St Johnstone that 2-0 lead. And then a minute later, Rory Payton again. It was a thorn in the side of Airdrie all day long, and he smashed home from 6 yards after a good cross ball from Jamie Gullen across the 6-yard box, and he knocked it home to send them 3-0 in at half time. The second half, Airdrie changed shape, which really helped them, but ultimately after the 81 minutes they gave away a penalty. Sam Stanton was downed and Josh McPake stepped up, kept his cool and got his well-deserved goal for the day. He was terrific all day, and that made it 4-0 for St Johnstone, and that's how it finished here in Perth. St Johnstone 4, Airdrie 0.
Great stuff, Chris. Thanks very much. Great result for the Perth Saints. Partick Thistle couldn't afford to slip up if they still believe they can wrestle back the title there in the championship. Ian McCall was watching Partick Thistle against Dunfermline.
Yeah, I think a long shot to wrestle back the title, but nonetheless Partick Thistle managed to win this home game 2-0. The first half they were dominant in the first 25-30 minutes against a kind of flung together back three of Dunfermline. I think Neil Lennon has his one eye on his big semi-final next week. The first goal was Stanley had a really good shot blocked, fell to Samuel, who was terrific throughout. He's taken a great first touch and a great strike into the goal from about 22 yards. 22nd minute, Fitzpatrick showed great pace down that right hand side of the Dunfermline defence, outpaced all of them and cut it back for Alex Samuel to get his second goal. That was half time. It was 2-0 to the home side. Second half was a bit nondescript. I think the closest we came was Samuel almost going Fitzpatrick's cut back to get his hat trick. I think for Partick Thistle after the second half, key players Smith, Chalmers and Watt all got a run out, which was great for them. For Neil Lennon's Dunfermline, Kane, Morris and Gilmer all got run outs and they get no other injuries. One thing I'll say for certain is that whoever finishes second bottom of the Premier League will not want to play Partick Thistle or Dunfermline in the playoffs. Finished at Firhill, Partick Thistle 2, Dunfermline 0.
Thanks very much to Ian McCall for that one. Right, let's rattle through the classified football results, shall we? While our TV